Fermin, hello there! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm kinda tired, not gonna lie. Toya Yacht, hello there as well. Did the stream title not update? Wait a minute. There's something wrong over here. Bum 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 bum. That should be the correct stream title. There we go. Yeah, you're gonna hear a whole bunch of yawning from me today. Mostly because I've been already awake since like 5 AM. Like, what the fuck, man? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it should be fine. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Alright, that's good over there. That's good over there. That looks kind of good over there. My eyes don't look too tired on stream. Then. Mega's most off for today. I'll set them up by tomorrow again. Also annoying when you kind of shut down your PC for a day, suddenly everything you kind of used to was running in the background is no longer running in the background. And you're gonna be like, ah, shite. Bum 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 bum. Bum. Alright, ads are still rolling, so let's wait for those to go over. Also, OBS had an update apparently, and they kind of turned the audio mixer by 90 degrees. Which I guess is fine. But at the same time, it still has that other weird bug I've been experiencing the entire time. Keep the caffeine flowing for today. Good, 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 good. Alright, YouTube swords. There we go. Rafael, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shall we get going then? Sure, let's get going. Good evening, Twitch, and welcome back to Factorio. I'm kinda tired today, and that is perfectly fine. Smeagol, hello there as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been up since 5 AM because my sleep cycle is kinda whack. Part of the reason of that is because of Path of Exile. Fuck you, grinding games. Also, thank you, grinding gear games, for making Path of Exile. Rieta, hello there as well. Too much PoE? Yep. Actually, for the first time, I've made a character that got really, 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 really far. Profi-Spieler! Well, the text-to-speech lady had a stroke, apparently. What do you mean, really, really far? Far enough that I can just run nightmare maps and corrupted tier 16 maps without even having to look at the screen. Because my character cannot die. The only issue I have is the final Maven fight. Because I kind of rely on getting hit. And in the final phase of the final Maven fight, she doesn't really do that often. So I just stand there gonna be like, hit me! Hit me already! Hit me! So how deep are we in Delve? Delve would probably still kill me, because if I run into the darkness, of course the Delve will take away all my resistance. Actually, maybe not. I should check that out at some point in time. But I'm currently working on my second character, which is basically the same character I've made in the previous season. But now, with the knowledge, again, I've gained through this season, it's let's switch games. You guys want to see the character who can't die? Or do we want to get back to Factorio? No, but with the knowledge, it's very fascinating. Every time I play Path of Exile, I think I'm already kind of know my way around it, and every time I learn even more about it, and then I just sit there and I'm gonna be like, oh, all right, cool, something new. Let's keep going. Which is just absolutely great. I mean, we could delve quickly into Path of Exile, but we haven't really played Path of Factorio, good god. But my brain is tired, man. I'm super tired. Let's get into Factorio first, how about that? Because, now that remember that you are around, how about we do some Path of Exile? Where the fuck were we last time around? I think we started to set up some of the chunk washing over there. We already set up the chunk washing over there for the Stereotype, which we do need all the way down over here at some moment in time to just do the... Was this always this loud? Maybe it was. To set up the process over there. We kind of spent some time and effort over there to get this Tiberium field under control, which I think is doing fine now, and I don't think we need to worry about it too much anymore. There's a bit of a breakthrough happening over there, but I'm kind of hopeful that these miners will be able to take care of that. Good. How about we combine it with Minecraft? Path of... Factorio of Exile craft. There we go. Let's call it like that. There's actually a PoE mod for Minecraft. There is a PoE mod for everything, because, well, PoE is not really the first one to make like a big passive grid. I think Final Fantasy X was before that. But at the same time, even for the Binding of Isaac, there's a weird PoE mod. And Craft of Exile is also a very nice website to check out what you can make. This is the Tiberium field that reminds me. Yes. Also, well, I don't think Roughguard is in here yet, but he kind of started something cheeky while I was gone. That cheeky bugger. Not quite sure if he's still streaming his playthrough, but he also started to pick this up and started streaming it. So kudos to him. Kudos to him. Now, our main objective for today is probably just to keep on going where we were, and to be perfectly honest, that one trip to Berlin kind of wiped everything out of my brain, because I was sick after that, and after that I was like, and I'm still kind of feeling a little bit under, but not too much, but let's hope it will be fine. Good. I mean, Craft to Exile. There we go. Alright. We have our little setup over there. We're not doing any signs at the moment, but I think we kind of wanted to post-hastily reset up military signs. I think that was a thing, but why were we so focused on getting aluminum done? I think it was because we wanted to do the bots, and I think it was because of the catalyst we need to make, the green metal catalyst, I think, if I remember correctly, because that one requires aluminum and silver. Let's check that up real quick, because where are the catalysts even? Are they in here? There they are. Yeah, the green metal catalyst over there requires aluminum ore and silver ore to make a couple of these catalysts, which is fine. That's something we can do. And we mostly needed that over here to start making formaldehyde. Because we need to make the formaldehyde together with... One moment, please. There was a reason we did that. We also need urea gas for something. It was urea gas and formaldehyde into... Was it just into resin? Into liquid resin. Because we need to make the liquid resin over there so that we can start thinking about making... Was it red circuits? My brain, it's gone! Circuits, there we go. It was red circuits, because we need that for the phenolic boards over there. Good, and we also probably need to start setting up our silicon processing over there. And to do the silicon processing, we probably just need to start to set up some monosilicon. Speaking of, are we not doing silicon yet? Wait a minute. Xylophone. There's no silicon in here. Where does silicon come from then? Wait a minute. We have silicon stored up over there. Not a lot. But that is what is coming from the bobmonium. There we go. There we go. So, silicon then. We should definitely have a quick peek at silicon. Xylophone, where is that? Silicon ore. We can of course get it from the bobmonium sorting. We can also get it from this saphirite chunk sorting, which also gives us N4, which we probably should also start doing, because if we're already doing the stereotype with the F7, what was it called again? It was called F7, right? It's not in here, but we can check it out later on. But the N4 and the other material out of Uoki, we do need those to process them into something. Alternatively, if we do rubite chunk sorting as well, we can get some more nickel, some more aluminum out of there. We probably do want that aluminum over there. And there's a convenient silicon from Tiberium process. True. I'm not quite sure if void crafting over there is really what I want to do.
Back for more. Glad you are feeling better.
I'm still kind of feeling a little bit under, but I'm feeling good enough. And I think good enough is all that we need right now. Yeah, there's of course the entire part of void crafting. We're kind of have been completely skipping over there. As void crafting over there does allow us to, I think, just burn up the Tiberium and turn it into anything we want. Which... Smeagol! It's definitely a good way to start a week, alright? Also, it's good for the hobo fund. Smeagol, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs! There we go. Yeah, there's of course the entire void crafting thing, which I think might be... I'm not quite sure how good that is, or how exploitative it is, if we combine that over here with the Tiberium. Not quite sure if I want to do that yet or not. I'm very much on the fence about that. And Verenk, careful, you're scaring chat. Danke für das Geschenk-Abo. Oh, random German. Pom. Yeah, the entire void crafting chain. It's in here, right? There we go. Void shard conjuration. I've not even looked at this one. Sorry if brain is semi off. Same, man. Same. Actually, is there other ways for us to make silicon ore? We got the Uoki Transatomics, which we actually, if we make some UCA2, we can, no, that's the other way around. Yeah, we can just turn UCA2 straight up into silicon ore. It was click done. That's perfectly fine, mate. And there is this one over there, which makes straight up silicon ore, but I don't really think we need that. It was getting silicon from the floating of saphirite. It's not the case in this mix. No, we can still do that. We can still do that, but I'm kind of wondering if there's maybe an alternative way for us to do things. But I don't really think there is. At least not for what I can see over there. We've not really taken too much of a look into void crafting. It's like... There's definitely some exploits we can do with void crafting. I'm not quite sure if I actually want to do those. Because I kind of want to focus on the abomination side of things. We might end up doing those things. We will see about that. We will see about that. Alright. I guess we focus more on this then. Because this is the important part. Also, I'm kind of curious to see over here if... Now, that's not working, is it? Oh, wait, the sulfuric wastewater is completely backed up. Sulfuric wastewater, that goes all in over there. Ah, because we moved the stuff around over here. And actually, wait a minute. Yeah, it is over there. I think we can do with a little bit more sulfuric wastewater sinking, even though I dislike doing that. At the end of the day, it just has to go somewhere. So how about we do this and that? There we go, you over there, with you over there, and we need one more view. Bum, 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 bum. I cannot make one of these. Can make one of these. There are so many barrel recipes in here. Where's the inline tank? It's this one, right? We need some bricks for that. Wait a minute. Don't I have bricks in here? We need some iron plate for that, right? Yeah, I don't have iron plate. One moment, please. There's iron plate right over there. There we go. You already did that to get your rightful place again? Ah, that's fine. That's fine. Because you so many of them, many tanks, you have like 8 warehouses full of sulfur. Yeah, but I don't really think we need this much sulfur, right? Also, I don't really want to worry about it too much at the moment. Just get it going already. There we go. Fill these up. I'm more curious to see if the liquid swapping over here works. Because at the moment, this one over there has issues getting out the chloric wastewater in its pipe. Mostly because it's all going into the same pipe. We might need to fix this or do this differently. Because it will not work like that, probably. I mean, we could try it like this. This could maybe work. But this will only work if we manage to empty out the pipe. And you can see what's happening over here. It's right over there. Wait a minute. It's right over there, to be exact. The pipe never really fully reaches zero. And because it never really fully reaches zero, the liquids in these pipes will always have sulfuric wastewater in them. So the place over there where we get the chloric wastewater, we kind of have the issue that we cannot... There we go. There goes the hype train. That we cannot actually empty out our thingamajigs over there. Our liquids. So that's a bit of an issue. So I guess what we first need to do is to redirect some of those pipes over there. We got enough underground over there, so that should be fine. Let's do some plumbing then. So, yeah, this over here, not gonna work. Absolutely not gonna work. So we're just gonna cut all of this. We're probably gonna keep these pipes. And we should have probably kept these over here, just so that we know which liquid goes where. And let's fix some of these pipes, because you over there, with the chloric wastewater, that's not gonna fly over here. So, how about we cut you, and you. Perfect. And then we got this place over here, and then we make the workaround over there. And then we just push this to either side. Let's push it over here to this side. And let's keep them aligned with these, why not? Oi! I forgot you do that, what the hell? I have not been missing this at all. There we go. Is this also going to be sulfuric wastewater? We actually don't know yet if this is going to be sulfuric wastewater or not. So, that's an open question. Sir Banant, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing, mate? Alright, you over there, and that will now bypass this block. And then we do the same thing over there, where we just cut these real quick. We can keep the fresh water coming in from the top, but the only thing we need to kind of cut around is the wastewater. Speaking of the wastewater, we do need to get this sulfuric wastewater out of these pipelines over there, because it's only causing issues. So, boop, there we go. Now it's the other wastewater, even better. Do this one, please. Thank you very much. Also hydrate. That's probably a very good idea. Because the caffeine needs to be flowing today. Because I'm already getting tired. Not gonna lie. Good. Alright. Which wastewater is this? The chloric wastewater. That will be you. I guess we can keep this one. And then we do something like this and that. And how about we do that and this? There we go. And now it should be taken care of as well. Let's have a look down here real quick. That is going to be taken care of by you. Something ain't quite right over here. Wait a minute. You're fluoric? You're chloric. I guess it was a mishap. How did that fuck that up so much? I got no clue. Well, so be it. You do chloric. Yeah, we'll just empty you out real quick so we can set it up over there. Good. Alright. This does mean that we're now starting to make over here some salt. We also get some of our mineral water, saline water out of this. The saline water over there, at the moment, we don't really care too much about it. So I think we're just gonna fish it off again. There you go. I think one of these will actually be enough, right? Because we're not really making that much saline water over there at all. Let's place you over there. That'll be fine. Yeah, some power from over there. Salinewasser. We can go over there. Oi. Actually, that's not saline water. This is saline water. There we go. And also, this can go the one lower. There we go. You over there, and you over there. Good. Saline water goes away over there. And then the only thing we have left over there is the purified water, which we have not even connected up yet. Wait a minute. What the fuck, man? Alright. Purified water. There's multiple things we can do with this purified water over there. We got a big purified water making machine all the way at the top over there. We could either send this purified water down to this system over there, but I would rather just send it back up over here to the other side. All the way back up, all the way over here. As over here, we can then use it for the ongoing process. Good God, that is a weird animation. Is that wind happening? What the fuck is going on over there? Why can't I see the electricity over there? Oh. How are you so broken? Well, I guess it's fine. Hey, could you do me a favor? Could you just lick that thing for a bit? It'll be fine. Trust me. Alright, you over there. You over there. Now we flush it back. Alright. Place them next to each other. Yeah, but then we will still have like the issue on either end. You know? Well, it's fine. Don't worry too much about it. Alright, how many more inline tanks can we make? A couple. We could also make one big one, but I think like 5 inline tanks will be enough, right? Is the graveyard still living? Now, we kind of cleaned up some of these corpses that were lying around over here. There might still be some corpses around, like there's like 2 over there. There's one over there. Usually where the train tracks are, there's a couple of them, because she just keeps running onto the tracks and just keeps getting hit by these damn trains. Still quite a bit over there, though. Alright, inline tank. Pum. Where do those inline tanks go? There they are. Yeah, let's place you over there. You over there. And you over there. Alright, you're only going to be enabled if the amount of purified water, purified water, there we go, is less than, say, 5,000? 5,000 is the number, right? How much can this tank hold? Okay, 10,000 is actually fine. Turn these off. There we go. So we're only going to be purifying new water over there if we need to. And then we can just recycle the water that we kind of push into the system over there. So that is all fine in total. Good. Why are you still off? Because you're backed up by sulfuric... Ah. Yep, I'm smart. I'm very smart. Alright, but you're backed up over there because you are actually just backed up on your belt. That is good. So we can at least start exporting this stuff over there. So let's have a quick look where that stuff would be. Let's just ghost this real quick. So I can have an estimate where this will be. It will be over here somewhere. Sadly, we can't really use a white underground over there. We're going to have to use a yellow one. But that'll be fine. Can we just make a quick copy of this one over there real quick? Just so I can... Ah, I see. The answer is we cannot make a quick copy of that because things are kind of off by one. That is fine. Alright, passive provider this then. This height. And then so that you can come in somehow. That might be good, right? Yeah, but that will be good. Alright, alright, alright. We already know this is going to be Quatinium chunks because we've got Quatinium going over there. You go over there, and you go up a one, and then into there. Good. And at the same time, we're gonna get... Are we also getting yellow ones? So we're getting green ones for there. We're getting green geodes for there. So we might as well make another passive providing station for there as well. On the same distance. This will be nice over there. For the green geodes. There we go. Light green geodes? I guess it's light green geodes, right? It's light green, right? That looks like light green. Wait a minute. Light green. Perfect. Alright, alright, alright. Can we build this? Maybe. We're mainly just building this so that we can get going. At some point in time, we will probably remember what was important. Because, of course, we didn't write down anything. And after, like, a bit of... Well, not really a full week of break. But, like, more than a half week of break. Things just kind of went... somewhere. Also, hello there as well. Good night. Yeah, technically it's evening. My sleep cycle is so broken that it's sometimes kind of hard to even kind of think straight which day it is, which is kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. Like on Sunday I woke up and was like, what day is it? To put it into perspective, I went to Berlin on Wednesday morning. And the trip to Berlin was fine because I just woke up, got to the train station, set myself on the train, 5-hour trip over to Berlin. No worries, got out, got to the hotel, got every administration things done, and everything was fine. And once I was finally fully settled in the hotel, after I had a little lunch thingamajig, or not really lunch, dinner thing, I just kind of fell asleep instantly. Which is fine, because I had to be up early in the morning to get to my appointment at the consulate of the Netherlands. Typical PoE season start syndrome? Nah, quite the opposite actually, quite the opposite. So on first day, I woke up I think at 1 AM and I already was like, it's gonna be one of those, isn't it? Couldn't fall asleep at all because, well, usually when I sleep in a hotel, I either sleep really, really good or I don't sleep at all. And it was one of those latters where I just don't sleep at all. So I was more or less fine. I was like, all right, you know what? Let's not worry too much about it. Let's just get it all over with and then just go on with it. So everything was fine. I then went to my appointment at the Dutch consulate, put in my paperwork. It took them also a bit, but they were very friendly and very helpful. Even with the pass photos, they had so much trouble with my pass photos because apparently beards on pass photos are not really a thing. At least I'm not even having that big of a beard, but my beard just kind of broke every kind of regulation apparently. So they had to really try to get that pass photo in. But that kind of worked. And then at the end of it, the weirdest thing happened in my opinion, because I basically put in the paperwork for a new identification card and a new passport, and I had to pick up some of the documents, because usually you can get the documents sent to you, but this time I actually had to come back, or I have to come back to Berlin to pick up the documents. And it was not for the passport, it was for that ID card. And I was like, but why? And they were like, because there's now your burger service number in there, so we can't send that out anymore. And I'm like, is it that important? Yes, because if somebody steals this, they can impersonate you, so we don't send it by mail. And I look at the passport, but the passport comes by mail? Yes. Ha! What the hell? I kind of tried to discuss it a little bit, but at the end of it I was like, you know what, fine, I'll be back. Because I don't think I could change anything about that entire process. But bit of a surprise. I do hope it will be done by the time I go to TwitchCon, because yeah, the passport is worth nothing. That was also what I was kind of found so weird about it, that the ID card was technically worth higher regulations than the freaking passport, which you just can send by mail. But at least all the paperwork was fine. Is it a personal ID card or a smart card? It is. It might be a smart card. I'm not quite sure. The last time I ordered one was like 10 years ago, so who knows what has been updated ever since. But still, even the passport has like a chip in it already. I don't care. It was weird, man. It was so weird. But I kind of hope it will be done by the time I need to go to, or not need to go, I want to go to TwitchCon EU. Because then at least I could do a little bit of a round trip where I would then, instead of going straight to Rotterdam, I would just go to Berlin first, pick up the documents, and then take the train to Rotterdam right after. And then have it like done in like a single go. Or, if possible, and I kind of forgot to ask them while I was there, so I will have to ask them once I make the appointment to pick up my stuff, if they could maybe just send it to Rotterdam. Might be possible, because maybe they will just be like, yeah, I mean, they definitely have like an office over there. But not quite sure if that would be possible to do or not. Maybe I just have to actually pick it up. If it's a smart card that has a certificate you need that you can use to log into the services, that could maybe be a thing, even though I don't really use any of the Dutch services. But who knows? Maybe I can get like maybe I can get some workers' compensation from the Netherlands or something like that. Gonna be like, hey dudes, I'm out of a job right now. Can you pay me? Sneaky. Alright. Yeah, I'll see that like in like 8 weeks from now. Train! She got hit! I do like that we got the gore mod installed as well. Just went splat. But yeah. I mean, what's one more trip? At least this time I won't be staying in well, it wasn't really a weird, it was actually a pretty good hotel. I actually kind of really enjoyed the hotel I was staying at. Which was just a bed and breakfast. I think it was just called B&B, which I think is a bigger chain, all things, but they were great. So Mike underwent some training. Wait, Mike? Miku, you mean, not Mike. I'm not sure what Mike is up to these days. But he's probably also doing something fun. Let's pick up some inserters. Yeah, today definitely will not be a very, very concentrated day because my sleep cycle is still kind of off there. I'm kind of hoping that by the end of the day, when we just kind of push it all the way to midnight, that things will be fine. Yesterday I went to bed at like 10 p.m. or something like that. I kind of just felt weird about that, man. It was just like, it's 10 p.m. I could go for a nap. Nah, full sleep. Just instant full sleep. Also, before it's ready, if so, it's made in Rotterdam. They send it to Berlin. They ask you to send it to Rotterdam. It could be unfortunate. I will probably give him a call like this week or something like that. It's going to be like, hey, I have this stupid idea. Could the following be possible? It could also be that I can't do that via the telephone, because it might just be that I have to do that in person. Because of course, anybody could call and going to be like, hey, I've ordered a passport with you guys. Instead of picking it up, could you just send it over there, maybe? Then again, they might actually do that, because at the end of the day, it's just like another office somewhere else, or a bureau or whatever. But yeah, also, why do we got so many dildos in our pocket? Like, what the hell, man? That's too many dildos. All right, we don't need this. This one over there will be connected like this, like that, into there. There we go. That goes over there. Keep it straight, please. Thank you very much. Pom, 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 pom. Alright, that all goes in. That all goes over there. How much lamps do we have? A couple. That'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if it's just going to be in person and just going to be like a quick trip to Berlin again, that will be fine. I don't really worry about that too much. And I think there might also be a direct connection from Berlin to Rotterdam. Actually, I haven't really checked that. Where's my phone? Let's check that real quick. What's the Deutsche Bahn app? There we go. From Berlin nach Rotterdam Centraal. Is there a direct train? Oh, good God. How many trains is that? 12-hour trip? Oh, because they're looking for now. Oh, wait a minute. How about not today? Look for, like, say, that date at around 5 p.m. or something like that. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. I might take the plane, actually. Okay, there is... The best connection I can see, 9 hours? 12 hours? What the fuck? What am I looking at over here? Wait a minute. It can't be that far away from over here. I mean, from over here to Rotterdam, what is that, like 5 hours as well? I did kind of notice, on my trip to Berlin, after about half of the time, we've done like 3/4 of the actual distance, and the last half of the time, which was like 2.5 hours, was from like, what was it, from Fulda to Berlin, because I'm not quite sure what was going on over there, but things were kind of going. It's 6 hours from Berlin to Rotterdam, really? Oh, that's gonna take way more time than I thought it would be. Try the NL side, it might be cheaper. I got a bank card. It will probably be fine, but it's kind of surprising. Is it really 6 hours? Can't be that far. Actually, it is kind of far away, isn't it? Fuck. How about that plane? Just go to Schiphol. I'll think about it. Though I don't really like taking planes for short-ish distances. I mean, Berlin to Rotterdam, that's better with train in my opinion. And from your place to Rotterdam is a nice triangle. Can't be this far. Maybe I've got it wrong in my brain. Who knows? Alright, we don't really have a lot available yet, but this will be fine. This is also a little bit higher than I thought it would be, but that is fine. Just start this process. There we go. And you... We can't do that there. Can we just do it like this? Then we'll look a little bit nicer. The chromium. Hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do I set these up correctly? Yeah, this is Protinium, and that is the green geodudes. Perfect. Alright, alright, alright. More of this going. Excellent. It's not the fastest right now, but that doesn't really matter too much. As long as they're processing ores, that's the most important part. Just process those ores. Just get more of it going. Because at least now we can order it in down over here. Do we already have it available over here? I see what we did there. That's a little bit unfortunate. We got some crushed stuff over there, which we need to process first. We could maybe try to unload it, but I'll just process it real quick. And then we're just going to be done with it. We already got some ceratite chunks being delivered over there, but we're still kind of going through our stuff over there. And we can see that we got a little bit of an issue over here with iron, question mark? Yes, because nothing is moving. And nothing is moving, most likely because we're not using anything. And if we're not using anything, well, why play Factorio if we're not doing anything? Your girlfriend is a lot of help. Oh, she's horrible. She's absolutely horrible. She can't even make a sandwich. Or can even clean the dishes or anything. Like, it's the worst girlfriend ever. He can't even touch her. There's no fun with having her around. Alright. Military science needs to be reset up. I think... Oh, I remember. I think we got distracted. By what did we get distracted? I think we got distracted by the Tiberium issue. Yes. We kind of wanted to set up a stone making facility over there. Because if we want to make military science, we will need bricks. And the best way to get bricks is, well, out of stone. We could use the Tiberium to do that kind of brick work. Because if we look at the Tiberium over there, we can just... Is it over here? Stone and Tiberium slurry will make Tiberium sludge, and then Tiberium sludge we could just straight up turn that into stone bricks. It's just a way of cooking stone, and we technically do get more brick out of our stone because it's 1-to-1 over here. One piece of stone makes one sludge, and one sludge makes one brick, so we get more bricks out of our bricks, or something like that. Just have to use some of our Tiberium, and you know what? I'm gladly use up some of our Tiberium, but we have to provide some stone. Alternatively, we do got the Tiberium slurry over there, which we can cook up into molten Tiberium, and also get some Tiberium sludge out of that. The molten Tiberium, we can then combine that up with either nothing at all, to just turn that into Tiberium data from mechanical tests, or Tiberium data from thermal tests. Okay, we need to combine on top of some coal to get to the thermal tests. But does that actually do anything over there? Tiberium science packs over there are being made from data. And since it's technically infinite, we could combine these to make even more advanced Tiberium science. But to be perfectly honest, I don't really think we need to. I think I would just be glad to get rid of this molten Tiberium. What else can we use the molten Tiberium for? And I think that's actually a tech that is still kind of locked for us, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Molten Tiberium. Once we have created some molten Tiberium, we unlock this tech, but only after we've done red circuits. So that's not going to go anywhere. Clearly watching a different girlfriend, only positive things seem to be the hydrocarbon fuel drops. Yep. I mean, she does give us a lot of fuel to play around with. Alright. But yeah, bricks. I mean, at the moment, we can't just move these bricks around. We've got like 54,000 bricks down over there, which we could just put onto a train and send it over. That came from like this processing suite over there, but we do kind of want to make a brickery out there somewhere where we can start importing our things like crushed stone everywhere. This is crushed stone, this is Cortinium. Our crushed stone from anywhere, like we have over there, and that's still going. Yeah, let's just set it up real quick. We got the machines for that in the pocket because we prepared for that. I remember that. And I think we wanted to make the train stations for that, and then we kind of got distracted and built those other train stations. So, let's make some more of these then. What do we need for that? Stone bricks. Ha! Everything wants some stone bricks. Alright, let's get some stone bricks in. Forget about distance use rational geometry, taking into account existing train routes and then maintenance. Yeah, but that's the thing. And there's a lot of train routes here in Germany. Like, a lot. I mean, the Deutsche Bahn gets shit on quite a bit for having issues everywhere. But I think what a lot of people kind of fail to realize is how much track there actually is in Germany and how much train traffic there is in Germany that the Deutsche Bahn needs to handle. I mean, it's obviously definitely a good idea to keep them on their toes and tell them off when they need to. But at the same time, you do have to kind of keep in mind how much they actually need to process every day, which is quite a lot. And I'm actually kind of surprised it's working at all. Bum. Alright, let's get some bricks over there. Yeah, put that one back. Yeah, get these two ones over there. Good. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. I guess we could do 1 input station, 2 input stations. Technically it will be 2 input stations, right? Because we're gonna halve it down into 1 output station. So yeah, let's do 2 input stations, 1 output station just to halve it down. And then all the assembly machines we need to do so, which I think we have. And then on top of that, the only thing we're gonna need for that is some of these bulk inserters. We got a total of 12. We need 8 per station, so we can make 1.5 stations. So we need at least another 12 to make everything we need for that. Good. What are we missing? Steel? Bronze. Alright. There's a bronze chest over here somewhere. So let's figure out where that one is. Also, love seeing this tin over here just backing up after this belt was empty for the longest of times. But yes. We should be reasonable? Is that what you're saying? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna shit on them whenever you want. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Alright, good, that is all the inserts that we need. We're a little bit low on belt as well, so let's pick up some belt and just craft everything we need to go on to go. We really need to get to some better bots. It's been terrible, like just having like no real build automation and just pocket crafting the entire time is horrendous. Even though we're kind of used to it, because that's also how things go in Pyanodons and other mod packs. But the amount of time that this has been going on for us is going a little bit too long. And off topic about ladies and girlfriends, during the weekend you saw a funny scene where a guy was pushing and acting rude to their own wife after abusing alcohol. Ah, that's not good. And he got knocked out in less than 10 seconds by a random spectator who was passing by. Yeah, but I can see why, but at the same time, just don't knock out random people, man. I mean, he was obviously a jerk, but at the same time, there's no reason to be an asshole yourself. Also, Mikhail, hello there. How's your trip deal with the documents ended up? All okay? Oh, yes, yeah, we had all that. And you added up your clean space age run with an annoying girlfriend. That was the day when you clearly started smoking cigarettes again after 3 hours. I gave up. Oof. Also, wait a minute. What's going on over there? Yeah. Alright. Caffeine. Let's just get in the building because my brain is not concentrating today at all. Let's pick up some iron plates. Because I'm missing some of those as well. Yeah, give us some more. And let's hope that we got everything we need. Is there a car around here somewhere? Where the fuck did I park my car? There's one all the way over there. We have more than one car, right? The other one is all the way over there. Ah, we'll just walk. What the hell, man? Alright. Let's maybe walk on the train tracks. Keep the excitement going up. I need to feel something. Alright, we wanted to make a stone machine all the way over here in the corner somewhere. Over here seems like a decent corner to do so. Like being equidistant from all your cars. Yep. Defense of the random spectator, he seems to have seen visibly drunk and may be verbally abusing, physically abusing and aggressive the woman. Yeah. I mean, I don't say it was a bad thing to do, that she's knocking that asshole out, but at the same time, I would prefer if it would be handled differently. But what's done is done. I mean, come on. I can fully understand that. That sometimes just knocking somebody out is probably the easiest solution than anything else. Yeah, I could play some more tiling and stuff like that. How is my inventory full? Wait a minute. I can see a slot right over there. Yeah, put it over there. Ah, the other one was the stone over there. Okay, fair enough. Is there a mod for a self-driving car? If there was, that self-driving car would just immediately run into a building and run her over twice. Which actually, we should install that. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, a machine somewhere over there. I don't really want to connect to the bottom part of the track over here. I kind of want to connect over here somewhere. Let's just start setting it up over there. Let's make this the output. I can't not look for my blueprints over there. The output is going to be a passive provider sitting right over there. The only thing you're going to be providing over there is going to be stone. Where is it? Map. There it is. Good. And I kind of want to set up everything I need inside of... Okay, it's a little bit too much. Inside of this entire thing. Also, this will be the output path for the input stations on the top. But let's build this bottom up, right? Alright, so we got these things over there. Do we still got the yellow underground? We do not, but we can make one real quick. It's gonna be, yeah, 2 white belts into 1 white belt out. We could technically move this power pole around, but I kind of like where it is, so I'm just gonna use the yellow underground. Prepared everything to get rid of the Tiberium field, up to 4 nodes it has, and I see the 5th one. That Tiberium is also going to be the end of us at some point in time. Alright, Actually, I think it might be better if we do it like this, and like that. Because it's going to be this tech, and that tech, and this tech, and that tech. You consume 3 dust per second, and you're going to turn that into 1.5... stone per second. Actually, is this gonna be fine? Yes, so that's gonna be 3. It doesn't really matter, does it? We can just do it like this. A self-driving tank with napalm mounting these girlfriends would be funny. We do have these boys over there. The flame bots. I do kind of remember back when we played Pianodon, so we kind of wanted to have like a remote call for our crawdad, so that he could come at us whenever we would call him. But at the same time, he would probably run over everything we would own. So, yeah. Alright, input of 3. We can do that with 2 yellow inserters. A red inserter would be a little bit better, but we don't really have a red inserter. So, there we go. And then 1 output over there, 1 output over there, and 1 output over there. That will be our stone making machine over there. Good. You get a power pool, you get a power pool, you get a power pool. And then how about... Oh, that works. That is all the power we need over there. We do need to connect you up to the actual power grid. Can we get you over there? That works. I do know that there's a taxi mod for trains where you can just call like a taxi train to come over. We also used to have a taxi train in our par games where we would just like put down a train station with a named station into it, and then the taxi train would just show up for that. And you go for the help of one of the inserts on the left side. She did. Ah, motherfucker. She's so useful. Oh, where's my shotgun? Alright, requester. Bum, 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 bum. That's a little bit high. Actually, I do have a shotgun. Oh, God damn it. Alright. Let's place you, say, over there. You're going to be ordering in crushed stone. You're going to be doing the same. Crushed stone. All of this is kind of high, though it might be correct, actually. Because you go for there, you go for there. The stone could technically come from over there, so we need this over there as well. And just carry a loca and put it on there. That could also work. I mean, there's just multiple ways to solve it. There we go. There we go. Do we have got enough for these? Nope. What are we missing? Green circuits. Ah. Alright, we'll pick them up in a second. Pum, 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 pum. That goes out. Thank you for moving these around. That actually goes in. Here we go. I think we can use yellow inserters for this. Here we go. It'll be fine over there. It'll be fine over there. How much more yellow underground can we make? A couple. Because technically we go like this, and we go like that. I'm kind of hoping that we can get an underground from over there to over there. And then what? Then nothing. Alright, how about we go this way then? Bum, 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 bum. I'll make this a little bit easier. Don't turn that around, please. This will be a yellow one. There we go. Then we just quickly balance them together. We could do it like this. And that. And then we get one of these. Not like that, please. There we go. Let's get these power poles in. Here we go. There we go. And over there. Perfect. It's kind of dark over there. Can we at least make some pocket lamps? Yes, at least we can do that. Also, I don't think we can make any combinators because combinators require green circuits. Yeah, that's kind of silly and stupid. We do need 2 radars. Pom pom. Let's make 2 this. Is this all to make stone? Yes. This should also hopefully be enough stone. I hope it's enough stone. Here we go. Making out some bread. One right over there. And one right over there. We don't need this one over there. Alright, we also need a couple signals at least. And how many do I got on me? Not a lot. Alright. Before we go back, can we liberate the car? Yes, we can. All of the instance looks up. Yeah, I see it. We'll fix it on the way back. Kraxe! Hello there! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't really think we need a lot of stone. At least not for now. The only reason we currently need stone is to make ourselves some walls or some bricks. And then to turn those bricks into walls and those walls into military signs. Also, one moment, please. Ah, come on! Ah. Gonna get you. There we go. Ah, so much better. Wait, what? What did that trigger? Oh, something's being eaten. I think it was also the reason why we kind of wanted to get into military science a little bit faster, because they were eating our bots a little bit too much with whatever kind of weird spit they've got going on over there. Especially this permanent break everything spit that's even eating our flying... Oh, I never noticed they got little grabbers. Are you using the rifle turrets yet? No, because they never really were an issue at the moment. But we might need to switch over to the rifle turrets. We got the sniper turrets, which do well, but we might need to go to the rifle turrets. But I kind of just want to solve the issue by just setting up military science again, and then just not having to worry about it at all, hopefully. But we'll see about that. All right, let's get some green circuits in here. And while we pick those up. Cow. This is what they got of mod teleports. There are teleporter mod packs out there. I just didn't install them because I don't really enjoy teleporting too much, to be perfectly honest. Because teleporting is like squeak through. It's lazy. If you really got an issue with things being so far apart in your base, then you're building your base wrong. And I know I'm building my base wrong. I just don't care. D1 Ronin! Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Alright. We got some green circuits there that at least allows us to make the stations that we need. And then some of these, some of those, some more of these. Probably more of those. And then we should probably pick up some more green circuits because now we're not really out of green circuits. We've still got 91 in the pocket, but let's pick up some more because we can. Pum 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 pum. And then pick up some iron plate and some steel just to be safe. And then let's just keep on building up there. Good, at least this time we got the car. Oops. My bad. Sorry about that. I didn't see you there. I wasn't aware you were right in front of my car. Let me just back over real quick. That went through many more trees than I thought it would be. Alright. And pick up some of these. You're not using those bots, but you're thinking of using one in your Pi run. I mean, for a Pi base, it also kind of makes sense, because things are so far apart, and especially in Pi anecdotes, where, I mean, bots kind of become irrelevant, or not bots, teleports become irrelevant the moment you get to, like, some decent bots. But in Pies, it just takes so long to get anything done at all, that... Well, then again, the teleporter bots is probably also blocked behind, like, blue tech. By that point in time, it doesn't really matter. Alright, there's one thing we need to do over there. We are gonna raise the priority for these. Or actually, let's not raise the priority for these. Let's do it differently. Instead of raising the priority for these over here, let's lower the priority for these over there. Like, only sync over here if nothing else is available. Good, so that when we do get the stone delivery, it will come over here. And then we start processing that stone over there into, or the crushed stone, or the, what is it actually called? It's called crushed stone? Yeah, crushed stone back into stone. And then we will export the stone from over there. Good. Alright. Let's get some signals going. Let's see. You over there? You over there? You over there? And I guess you over there? You over there? All complaining about everything. Not really the best way to solve this. I don't really think we can do this right. No, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, this is a bit of an ugly junction, but it's quick and dirty. I don't really think we're going to be seeing that much traffic over here, to be perfectly honest. Alright, take him out. They go back in. And then the only way you can leave is this way. Alright, and then at some point in time we're going to start making some stone over there as soon as we get ourselves a shipment of rocks together. That's not rock, right? That is cortinium, yes. That is rock, but that's basically empty. Because we're not really using the juvolite over there. Yeah, what we can do over there is maybe do some more ore sorting, but then again I think all of it does accumulate into iron. So let's get some production going over there. And I think what we should start off with, which is probably going to be the most important thing at all the time, every time, is either the grenade production or, even better, just the red ammo production. So let's set up some red ammo again. Nope, I hit a tree, but I didn't know there was another tree over there. And actually, military science was probably going to be right over there where I just stand. So let's have a look. We need lead. Lead is right over there. We need steel. Steel is over there. We need copper. Copper's all the way over there. Fuck. That'll be fine. Also, let's pick up this blow-up doll real quick. There we go. Who left you around? Random blow-up dolls everywhere. Alright, let's have a quick peek. So, usually, we already have a plan over there. So our current plan, as always, as usually when we start off a fresh game of Factorio, is to just make like 1 science per second, or at least make 1 craft per second, or more or less. That does mean that over here, we need to set up 5 machines over there that will be doing military science, and for 5 machines that are doing military science, we will need to make 0.5 piercing ammo rounds per second, or per crafting cycle, whatever you want to call it. That means, technically, 3 of these is going to be... Usually we end up building 3 of these, because then half of it can go into science, whereas the other half can just go into whoever needs it. So, let's set up a triple stack of these, and it's not going to be that complicated, because fire gun ammo over there is copper and lead, which is 3 copper pieces and 2 lead pieces per second to make 1 firearm set per second. And then over there, we would need also 1 per second over there with more lead and more steel. Do you do on-site processing with raw ores, or do you do raw ore processing at one site and secondary ore somewhere else? Well, we do the crushing on-site. The crushing of the ores is being done on-site because a lot of the things start off at the crush process. Nothing really needs the ore itself. There are some facilities we're going to be putting out a little bit more, because, for example, best example is actually this one over there. This one over there is the combined crusher that makes the ferrous mixture. You also got one of these for the copper mixture, and I think there's some other combinations out there as well with the mods we've installed. Next to the ferrous and the cupric mixture, I think down here there might be, I think it's these over there. The stannic, I think it is. The stannic, the plumbic, the manganic, and the titanic. And the phosphic, which are mixtures out of... Well, we can't look it up like that. That's not it. This over there, which are mixtures of... There we go. Of crushed bobmonium, crushed adamantite, and crushed anatite. So we got like these around somewhere that get crushed. But these then in turn also have further processes down the road, where we can either sort them immediately, or we can mill them a little bit further, so that we can refine them like that and then sort them, or we can even turn them into a sludge. No, the sludge also requires some chunks on top of that. I never really looked that deep into this recipe, to be perfectly honest. What can we do with the sludge? The sludge we can then turn into actual dust, and then the dust we can sort one more time, or we can turn that into... That's, I think, the next refining process, right? Where we turn it into stannic essence, And then what do we do with the essence? Into static anodes. Okay, sludge. Which we can then turn into crystallized static. Which we can then turn into... There we go. Ah, platinum we get out of that. I see. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other processes out there, but they all kind of start at the crush stage. Which means that for every field out there, we crush on site. Because crushing is not that complicated. It also doesn't really change much at all in terms of packing density. It's the same packing density if we would be bringing in the ore or the crushed ore. With the main difference that we do get the byproduct over there out of our crushed stone. But crushed stone can just go to a train station over there and will be picked up at some point in time to be brought over to any one of our crushed stone processing units. And we got 2 of them. We got like the sink, which will just turn it into sludge. And then the sludge will turn it into ores over there, which at some point in time we need to make a station for, because I think, they're not full yet, but they're getting there. They're getting there. Same over here we do for our, we should maybe also do the same thing over there, for our slag processing over there. Where all of the slag over there is also being brought over there and it's being turned into sludge, and then from the sludge we can turn it back into ores. But of course, there are better ways to use a slag in different means. Alright. So, we need 1 machine to make yellow ammo, 3 machines to make red ammo. While we're at it, what is the full build for the entire thing then? We need about 2 walls, or 1 wall every 5 seconds. The wall machine is usually kind of fast, because for whatever reason you can make walls at the rate of like 0.5 per second. Yeah, we actually make 10 per second. Okay, that's fine. So a single machine over there that makes walls for us, that is good. And then, last but not least, we also need to make ourselves some grenades. And we need to make 4 grenades every 8 seconds, or 1 grenade every 2 seconds. Or half a grenade per second to get our signs going. And to do so, we need 4 of these as well. Alright. So, in total, we need 9 assemblers. Plus 5 assemblers for the military signs. So, we need a couple more of these. And I think what's missing the most over there is it iron plate. It is most likely iron plate. And 5 of these. There we go. And let's set it all up over there, and then just belt it over there somehow. Alright. With lead being the most thing over there, Kintaru! How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the resub. 28 months. Welcome. Alright, you over there. And this map seed may have any special settings with the Simulator Train World? Not really. I mean, the main reason we got this many outposts, I mean, we're playing on default settings. It's just default settings. And our starter ore patch was basically gone quite fast. So we already kind of went to a whole bunch of outposts. But the bigger issue is that we got so many different types of ores out there. Like, there's Meta Garnier over there, there's Alluvium over there, there's Sanguinite over there, there's Adamantite ore over there, there's Cretinium, there is Stereotyte, there is Adamantite over there, there is Chivolite, there's Bobmonium a little bit we have over there, Sephirite, as well as coal. There's no stone fields, by the way. If you're wondering why we're making stone in this weird way, it's mostly because stone actually doesn't exist on the map. Nah, it's just default settings. We didn't even tweak the values at all for that. Alright, you do copper and lead. Let's get... Okay, lead is right over there. And you need more lead? You need more lead. So, how about we just do it like this then? You over there. You over there. Good. Should be 20 plus ores at least? Probably. To be perfectly honest, I didn't really count them, because it was like, yeah, we got ores. Why even try to count them? Alright, you need a quarter piece of lead per second. You need 1.15 pieces per lead per second, as well as some copper over there. You also need copper. You do not need copper. So, yeah, we can do something like this then, where you get this, you get that. Let this be the lead input. You get yourself a copper input, and then you also need the steel input. Steel is right over there. For the steel, we can just use a long inserter. There we go. My face is definitely tired enough that I don't even see the flipping of the belt that she does the entire time. But that'll be fine. So copper is all the way over there. That is fine. We need to splice them off and get it all the way to the other side. Yeah. That's gonna be a belter, right? Yes. Well, what the fuck? Alright, how about we try it like this? You go over there, you go over there, you go over there. This way, that way, bum 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 bum. Alright, that's the copper coming in. Let's also make sure that we can get some power set up over there. Should maybe start thinking about automating these power poles over here. Because I keep just pocket crafting them the entire time. Can we connect to this power grid over there? Is this a different grid? That is a different grid, but that is fine. As long as it operates. You over there, and then you, and you. Don't turn them around like that. Alright, you're waiting on the copper, you're waiting on the yellow ammos, and then you over there. That will be your output all the way over there. Good. And she's so annoying we get rid of her in like a couple of hours. Yeah, but it's kind of part of the process, isn't it? I mean, whenever she gets stuck somewhere and we're kind of on our own for like an hour or two, I'm so happy. And then at some point in time she comes back and they're going to be like, oh, it's you again. Next time you're not going to be on the train tracks, it will be me. Just get it over with. Alright, red ammo production is going up again. We got a coal mine over there. Where are we importing that coal, actually? All the way over there. We do need to bring in some coal to make ourselves some grenades. Alternatively, we could, of course, make coal out of tiberium. This process, if we bring in some slurry, we could just on-site, we should maybe start thinking about enhancing our tiberium operation so that we can just start moving around some liquid tiberium. How long will it take to fill up? Oh, that's actually kind of slow, isn't it? We're making like 2 tiberium slurry per second, and then a liquid load is 100,000 units. That's like 50,000 seconds. How many days is that? Wait a minute. Calculator, go. 50,000 seconds. Divide that by 60. That is 833 minutes. That is about 14 hours. Yeah, alright. But even if we put like 10 of them down, it will still be like 1.4 hours. So yeah. Maybe not. It will probably just be easier to just make the coal on site and put that into a train. But then it will get us back to the same position we were already in, that we need some coal over here from somewhere. Doesn't really matter from where, we just need some coal over here from somewhere. We already got a bit of a train station over here. Can we make this a bit more magical? And I don't really want to build too much over here. I kind of want to keep this area over here open for now. We could, of course, just tap into the coal field over there. I think that might just be the easiest solution for now. Let's just do that. And then we don't need to worry about that. Is it cool to solve the belt? Yes and no. It is cool, but at the same time, it isn't. Because this is coke. And that's graphite. It's not coal. Nah, I think we're just gonna cut over on the belt. Sounds brutal, but anyway, if we don't use the bird, we need it to craft. So we actually do need coal for that. Actual classic coal. Now, let's just run from this build over there for now. This will run out at some point in time, and then we will have to think of something. Oi! We should maybe get some undergrounds. Yeah. What am I missing? Oh, is it just wood and... Oh, not that much wood, please. Yeah. Is that even brave enough to suggest the barrels? No. No barrels. Of all the things that Factorio have ever added to the base game, barrels was by far the worst. And is there a way to check what items is on the belt, like you check with control click? Control click? Control click? Control click? I mean, if you want to check what's on the belt, because you don't really know what's on the belt anywhere, one thing you can do is, well, you need the power pole or something like that. And then you just wire up the belt. You can wire up a belt and you just read the entire belt, and then you can check over here on the combinator that will tell us exactly that at the moment over there, there's about 632 and rising items, it's right over there, of items of coal on that particular piece of belt. But sadly, you can't really click on the belt to just see what's on it. That would actually be a nice addition. Just like having like a thing you can click and you'll be like, okay, game, tell me how much coal is on this belt. And they're gonna be like, there's no coal on this belt because you're looking at the iron ore belt. You're gonna be like, oh yes, you're correct. Alright, we got a coal in over there. Good. Not quite sure if we actually need it over there. Let's just cut this over there for a second. Because we need iron plate. 1, 2... Let's build them apart like this. It'll be fine. That will be for our lovely grenades. If we kind of think about it. We can probably place them over here somewhere, right? Because technically they go on the same belt. Because we can do a half and half belt of grenades, as well as a half and half belt of red ammo. Where the grenades are there? There you go. Whoop. Sure, they are human. Wait, what? Taking a look at carbon as human bodies are carbon-based, burn a few girlfriends. Well, she is giving us some burnable components over there. I mean, every dildo over there has 20 megajoules in them. So, whenever you're using one of those, be careful. It will probably keep you going for like 10 days straight. Well, then again, the conversion from megajoules to calories is not 1 to 1. What is it, 4 to 1? Yeah, it's 4 to 1. Good. Alright, we need some iron plate for the air. We will need some of... We can actually probably make this half and half belt as well. There you go. Yeah, at some point in time we should definitely make a power plant with those toys. I mean, we can craft them. There's recipes for them over there. And to be perfectly honest, most of these kind of seem kind of expensive, except for the dildo one, which is just a flamethrower, an iron rod, and 4 plastic bars. Which is basically a power plant made up of iron and plastic. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Here we go. Alright, some of these are still going a little bit the far way around. Did you kind of flip this one? You sure did. Alright, where's the iron plates? The iron plates all the way over there. Man, this is not good. How do I get the iron plates out over there? Why did it already make it such a mess over there? So we're coming and going for the next 10 days? You'll be in and out of it the entire time. If we're gonna keep that up for like 10 days, then I think at some point in time there's a natural limit. I've heard rumors. No, this is fine. We need to be over there. Alright, iron and coal to make ourselves some grenades for here. Can we have some lamps over here? It's kind of dark. Also, my eyes are already very tired. If I don't put lamps out there, I just fall asleep. Good, good, good. And then how about we just make ourselves the signs that we need right over there. We need to place 5 of these. And then on top of that, somewhere, we need to make some walls. I'm not quite sure if we're going to make these walls yet. We're going to figure that out in a bit. But these lights over there, ooh, it's flickering. We need to do something about that. Don't you have? Oh, you don't. I probably never really put one in there because I never really thought that we would be doing any kind of crafting over there. But you're gonna need like at least one of these. Also, that's not how that's gonna work. Now, those arms are by far too long. There you go. What's our current goal? We kind of just want to get things processing again. We kind of want to get back into military science. I kind of want to get into chemical science. But to get into chemical science, there was a whole chain of constraints to get into chemical science. And it was to get into red science. And for red science, the one thing we need to do is to get resin going. And to get resin going, we had a whole kind of plan set up to do resin. And then we kind of got super distracted. But at the moment, military science is probably by far the most important part again. I remember. Yeah, we need to get some more ores processed over here. And we do have a little bit of an issue over here that iron is currently kind of backing us up a bit. We should probably do something about that. It's probably about time that we start thinking over here about setting some restrictions. Because... yeah, you. Let's pull this all the way down over there. Let's wire these up real quick. This is making iron and manganese. Let's put in a combinator over there. You go over there. You're gonna check on both if the iron ore, iron, and the manganese ore, if these are below, what is a low number? Let's say 50,000. That's a third of it. And this can be an ore, because we kind of want this to get going over there. But we don't necessarily want this machine over here to be doing any kind of ore processing while we can get iron off as well. So we're just going to turn it off. So we're just going to set up the check mark. Is it going to be the check mark? Yeah, it's going to be the check mark. You're only going to be enabled if the check mark is high. There you go. So we're going to turn them off. So what is required to make some proper bad dragons, Bolt? To make a proper bad dragon, you will definitely need at least a double dragon, because that's the best way to play double dragon, with a bad dragon up your ass. There we go. Good. Yeah. So that we will now stop using this process over there for a bit, and we can try to flush out the iron from over there. Blinks and bread, I cannot do it. You summon that one, that's on you. Because a lot of these over here make iron on the sides, and we do kind of want to keep this process over here going, especially so that we can get more copper out of this. And we will just turn this on if we need to. If we don't need to, we'll keep it off. Alright, there's also some more sorting we need to do down there. Can we make some more in that pocket real quick? No, because we're missing iron plates. That's fine. We can sort more of that out in a second or two. But at least now we're no longer flooding this with iron ore from somewhere else. We can just use the iron ore we can find in other ores for now. Alright. This is fine, that is fine. That is also fine. That is less fine, but now it's better. The only thing that's missing over there is going to be the stone now. Speaking of stone, did we already get like a shipment over there? And the answer is no, we did not. And we also don't have a shipment available, or do we not have a train available? We do have trains available, it's just that we don't have any shipments available. Alright. That's the other part of the reason why we're kind of just trying to set up military sites. So that we have like a little bit more of a consumption pull over there on everything we do over there. Just to make things move around a bit more. What we can already do over there is at least set up the output. And I should probably also pocket craft a couple more. I cannot. A couple more power poles and stuff like that real quick. There we go. Give me some of these. And give me some of those. That'll be fine for now. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, military science will be coming out of there. We'll go on the belt all the way over there. That'll be fine. And then, where does the wall come from? Well, multiple questions, of course. First of all, let's make the output. Output will be over there. And then the wall input will be over here. And then we might already realize where things will be going. Over there, and then... Let's see, if we do need a train station, we'll probably need to work on this over here. I don't really want to touch this, to be perfectly honest, but... I guess we have to. The easy solution would just be to move this over by a bit, so let's move it over by a bit. Alright, we need a requester. There we go. Let's place you, I guess right over there will be fine. You're gonna be a requester for stone. Where was stone? Where was stone? Good question. Was stone in here? Stone is actually in there. Perfect. And then you're basically off by 2. So let's just move you over real quick. Let's see, this is only an entrance, right? Yes, it is. So we can do this, we can do that. And we pick up these. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but for some reason I was looking at it, was like, I don't really want to touch this, but we kind of have to. That's probably the reason why I didn't really want to touch this, because then we get this lovely mess. Great. Though that seems to kind of work? Question mark? That's better. Sure, why not? We don't need this because we can just put in the red signal over there to over there into there. There's... Yeah, that's all correct. I hope we didn't break anything over there, but I don't think we actually did. Pom 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 pom. Over there, over there. We need to make some more of these silos. We can make 2 more. There we go. Over there. but maybe not with the long head mod engaged. There we go. Let's pick them up again. Let's pick up some inserts real quick. They're just over there. And then I guess we make the walls right over there, and we just build them over there. How far are personal bots away? I mean, we could, I think, technically do the crawler personal bots, but they're so fucking slow. And without any kind of logistics backing us up, it just makes 0 sense to even get them going at all. Inbound train on the left instead of the signal? Inbound train on the left. There's still signals missing on the bottom over there. That is very true. But this over here is all fine. Yeah, that looks fine over there. Yeah, what's missing over here is a bit of this and a bit of that. Wait a minute, there we go. Pom 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 pom. Oh. Oh, okay. That override is doing a bit more than I thought it would be doing. It will also blatantly override your blueprints over there. We have to be careful of this. It can fuck us over quite hard. Oh, okay. Yeah, that can fuck us over quite hard. Map. Alright, and then technically we also need the signal over there, or we can do a signal over there, just to make this block a little bit smaller. Still no signal at the entrance. What? There's signals over there. There's a signal over there. There's signals over there. This is the exit. Between the T's. If you mean over here, you really don't need that. Left. Looking to the left. I mean, we got these signals over there. I could place one over there. Makes no big difference. Let's place you. Here will be fine. You have delay? That's fine. I also got a big delay today in my brain. How late is it? Okay, it's almost 9 p.m. I'm gonna be a happy sleeper after this. Actually, maybe not. I'm not quite sure. There's this one thing that is kind of weird. And how to put it? Sometimes I do get kind of tired early on, especially after I have like a bit of a weird sleep cycle. That is kind of normal. But there's always this magical moment that once I reach after like midnight, suddenly the entire tiredness just magically disappears, and I just sit there going to be like, alright, remember the tiredness I had? Yeah, that's gone. Which is kind of annoying at the same time. Let's see, how do we get the best over there? We can't really take you over there. And I kind of have the feeling it will be the same again today, because after the stream I will probably be like, alright here, let's just put on Path of Exile for like a little bit. Because I still want to grind out that one level and optimize that build a little bit more. Just to then realize that suddenly it's like 4 AM again, I'm going to be like, what the hell? Where did the time go again? Alright, you'll be over there. That will be this. I think 3 inputs over there will be fine. And then we go like this, that, and this, and that. And then how do we get the cross over there? How about we get the cross right over there? Maybe 1 higher. There we go. That'll be fine. Alright, and you can finally start working on these walls. Alright, you're a stone requester, but there's no stone to be requested yet because, yeah, we're not making any stone right now. Bolt. They're made out of bricks. One moment, please. We forgot the brickery. Can't you just cobble some rock together? It'll be fine, right? Ah. Alright, can we make some cool furnaces yet? No, we cannot. Unless... Can we make steel furnaces at least? I think we can make steel furnaces, right? Oh, yes, we can. Steel furnace. How many of these do we need? Let's make, like, 6. Howler! Hello there! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's place them over here. We don't need that many of them, just a couple. Yeah, somehow in my brain, there was already like a step done. I guess it was just missing. We can add some more furnaces over there if we really, really think we need to. I don't really think we need to. But we can just do the classic thing over there like this and that. Here we go. We're gonna get one over there. We're gonna go one over there. We're gonna get the fuel line in from over there. Ah, it's a little bit eager. There we go. You're going over there and over there. I thought you had the stone ball what for a second. I mean, that does exist. Was that also in Bob's? Actually, what kind of walls do we have? No, we don't. I do remember that wall, but I'm not quite sure where it came from. Bum, 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 bum. Powerful, powerful. Alright, we got some combustibles over here. We could use the coal. I don't really think I want to use the coal. I'm just going to use the carbon over there. The carbon has a higher burn value. So we're just going to burn some carbon over there. Was it Factorio? Really? Also, I have not forgotten about this insert over there yet. There we go. Fixed it. Alright, but we would still need some stone over there. We could pick up some stone real quick. Actually, we could do that. Dump your entire inventory over there, I guess, except for the toys, because she's going to give us toys regardless. We've got a big chest of stone down here somewhere. Let's do some. Let's be a manual train for once. I don't really calculate the rates. Some of that just comes from experience, from having it done like a bazillion times. Most of the time, I do end up calculating it. For example, the entire stone or the entire science setup we're currently doing is we're just gonna make like 1 craft per second. And then it depends on the crafting speed of the machine. For example, we put down 5 red science machines over there. So that we make like 1 science per craft, or one per second technically, even though the crafting machines are running at 0.75, so we're technically making 0.75 per second. And then for the greens, we put down 6, because we need 6 to complete 1 per second. And then for the military science, we do 5, because that will give us the 10 per 10 that we need over there, etc, etc, etc. Alright, you get this. What's a pirate worst nightmare? Wait a minute. I'm so tired that I don't even get an answer straight from the top of my dome. Is it friendship? Because it was all along of the path? No, wait, that was the other thing. A pirate's worst nightmare. Is it the tax bureau? A sunken chest with no booty. Yarr. But at least you get a chest. You can fill it up again. We're burning the graphite over there. The coke is over there. The graphite has the higher fuel value. We pick this up again. Here we go. I mean, we can check over here. We're making like 0.62 breaks per second. And actually... Oh. Alright. Let's put it differently. We're consuming a white belt. Because apparently we don't even reach the ones over there. Because you over there, you eat 2.5. Actually, you should be getting reached over there. Why are you not getting reached? It's 1.25 over there. That's going to be 2.5 over there. Ah, there we go. Now you're getting in. That's actually exactly 3.7. This is exactly what we need for half a white belt. That's kind of neat, actually. Alright, cool. But it also means that we're making like half a white belt over there of bricks. And we only need to make, what is it, like 0.1 wall per second or something like this. It's going to be fast enough. We don't need to worry about that at all. If we can dump some toys with the stone. Nah, the stone can have fun with those toys. It'll be fine. Come on, man. Everybody can use toys. They're all adults over there. Alright, at least now we got, again, a little bit of a constant consumption going on over here. How many walls do we actually need? It's going to be like 0.15 for 5 of these. So 0.75 is what we need. So technically, you need to be running at half your speed, which requires you to have 3.75. That's actually exactly what you need. You're running at exactly the speed that we need to. Half a white belt is exactly enough for you to operate these over there. That's kind of neat, actually. I kind of like that. You heard from your colleague why he does not trust any women? Well, they're women. They're colluding, of course. The explanation was clear. Can't trust something that bleeds for 5 days and won't die. Ah, that old joke. That joke has been around since, I think, forever. It's not really getting any funnier. It's one of those jokes that you just expect to hear at some point in time. Oh, well, somebody got disconnected, I think. How old is that joke? I remember hearing it when I was a young lad. And it was probably around before that even as well. Like 20 years ago? Same. Nothing has changed since then, apparently. Alright. Military science is good to go. Good. Standards. Perfect. Love to see that, which means we can now finally do some research again. Let's get some of this in there. Let's get some of that in there. Let's get some of this in there. Let's get these drum magazines in there. Machine guns. Fuck yes. Let's get all this fun tech in there. It's also a little bit dark over there. Let's brighten it up as well. I think the first hit was done in the 1980s. Wow. That's ancient, man. But it's sometimes kind of interesting. I mean, things like that have always been around. And sometimes you kind of think you heard that for the first time, only to realize it's been around since like forever. You get machine guns after the submachine guns? Yeah, you go from small to big, right? Right? That's how it works, right? Let's actually go over here. Semi-automatic weapons to assault rifles, and then from submachine guns to machine guns. You start small and you get bigger, right? That's how it works, right? Right. Alright, but at least now we're consuming a constant supply again of materials over there. Your first computer was a Commodore 64. Wow, that was one of the best PCs ever. I never really had the Commodore 64. I think my first PC was a 286 from Intel with the turbo button. That was the shit, man. Alright. The submachine guns appeared because the machine guns were too heavy to carry around. What do you mean they were too heavy to carry around? Come on, grow some muscles. Alright. By the way, that stereotype process over there is finally done. We can finally switch you over from this to... Oh, do we need to upgrade the machines for that? I think we do, don't we? Yeah, that's can only be done on the ore sorting facility Mark II. Alright, fair enough. You need 3 men to operate, one to carry the gun, one to carry the bipod, and one to carry the ammo. Or you could take some steroids. That could also work. Trust me, I'm not a doctor. Also, this is going the wrong way around. Oh, there we go. Alright, we can make 2 of these, and then we need some more steel for that. Bum bum bum. And bum 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 bum. Or a Chuck Norris. Or you just mount that bad boy on a Toyota. The #1 wagon for insurgents all around the world. Now, to be fair, I mean, early machine guns, very early machine guns especially, they were water cooled, which means you usually had, not only did you have like the full weight of the gun, the entire barrel would also be filled with water, which would just make that thing even more annoyingly heavy to lug around. The Lewis gun was 13 kilograms, just a gun, yeah. And was the Lewis the one that you also need to water cool? Let's have a look at the Lewis gun. The Lewis gun. Now that had an... Was that with water or was it with air? Also, reading this in German is kinda weird. Von 1908 bis 1910 arbeitete er mit den US-Army-Offizier Ormond Mikles zusammen und entwickelte ihm gemeinsam einen wassergekühlten Gasdrucklader mit Schneckenmagazin. It was water cooled. Which distro? I'm only telling if you're telling. So on 3. 1, 2, 3. It's Arch. But as always, when this discussions come up, tumbleweeds. I don't know tumbleweed. What does tumbleweed do? Oh, that's a Zusa one. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen a Zusa machine. It's kind of neat. Let's see. We got the start sticks, continuous updated, save, simple to use. So they're all basically using the same thing. But it's been a while since I saw a Zusa distribution. Nice, cool. At least this isn't Slackware. Nah, my next OS will be something like just pure on AI. I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT, hey, can you write me a Linux real quick? I'm gonna use that. Alright. Polymer guns, but that will get us into plastic, right? Yes, well, we can research it real quick. Go first, full curse. I mean, writing an operating system. I mean, how to put it? I mean, there are definitely entities out there that are vibe coding drivers for Linux, AMD, and I guess also NVIDIA. But at the same time, how to put it? You don't need to vibe code that. It's clearly well documented what you need to do to get your stuff running. And heavy early machine guns, the Gatling gun, of course, from 1861. Wait a minute. I guess it is a machine gun because it is a machine that you operate. Even though you have to crank it, don't you? With a mass of 77.2 kilograms. If I would likely steal it from someone, it might be okay. If you actually, I mean, how to put it? I mean, the basic layout of Linux drivers is always kind of the same. I mean, you can technically use AI to get yourself like the template for that, but that's the one thing I kind of dislike the most about all these coders that are using AI for their things. Most of the time, they're just generating like some kind of template or layout they will fill out themselves, not even knowing that there's already tools and scripts for that. Now, I do have to keep in mind that usually it's not the coolest topic to talk about toolings and generators for things that you need, but they do exist. They've been out there since the dawn of time. It was one of the first things people did. Like, all right, we want to write something. How can we automate this? It was like one of the first things ever. Arietta, don't worry about that too much. And if you write like a driver for your Linux, I mean, there are some parts I have to look up myself as well, but at the end of the day, you just need to write a kernel module. And that kernel module has to behave in a certain amount of ways, and that's it. And the former colleague that tried to vibe code a small script never worked, looked at it, and it couldn't from the one touch of the code even paid you. I mean, I do also sometimes vibe code stuff myself, but most of the time it's things that are A, not important, and B, they're just not important. Like that little JavaScript adventure I had to do for Megatron himself. The animation when he pops up, that's all done in JavaScript, and I have got no clue about JavaScript. But when I did vibe code it, I definitely had a better experiencing vibe coding it than trying to figure out a solution on my own by just going through the usual procedure of going to Google and trying to like, hey, I want to do this. Can somebody give me a tip? And usually you kind of end up on somewhere on Stack Overflow. But the problem with JavaScript is there's like so many people that will give you like so many, how to put it, some people will be like, here, just use this stack of software libraries, and then the other one will be like, no, use Angular, and then the third person comes around, no, use Node.js. You're gonna be like, dudes, I want to do one thing and one thing only. But the fun part was, and that was actually something I kind of enjoyed quite a bit about the entire process, because I kind of was like, here, AI, I want to do a thing. I want to do this. How do I do this? And then it came up with like, here, how about you try doing this? And give me a code example that actually worked, because I tried it out. And then after I got that code example, I just kind of started looking up what functions it was using, and then reading up on those functions, and then I understood a way lot more than beforehand. And just getting like that entry point alone was already kind of worth quite a bit. Yeah, a contradictory solution with different stacks, pretty much. Especially for JavaScript, because JavaScript is such a wild wasteland of how you could do things, which is kind of fine on its own. I mean, you should be able to do things however you want to please. But at the same time, if you're then trying to ask for information about anything, you just end up with like 10 solutions for like the same thing, and they're all contradicting each other. You're gonna be like, eh. And he worked in a military software company developing computer code for the Skorsky helicopter. Woo! And your senior engineer code hardware abstraction layer, and he was a genius Russian. Yeah. Java, isn't it? Java also has that, but not as bad as JavaScript. I mean, in Java, you also got some language mechanics and some particular libraries you could use to set up a grand piece of software. Most of the time, you don't need that. And to be perfectly honest, you don't really need Java for anything, in my opinion. It runs everywhere. I don't give a fuck. C code runs everywhere as well. The amount of hassle I always have with Java when I want to run anything at all is immense. Though, do you have to leave it to them? I mean, once you get the Java virtual machine up and running, yeah, it kind of does work. Howdy, Junk! Hello there!
Hello.
Hello. Is Java just a C compiler? Technically, yes. Because you can definitely compile Java code in all the way down to bytecode, and it will just be as performative as, well, it will not be as performative as C code directly. But you can just compile it down to the bytecode layer. It runs everywhere after you install a VM and an importer and this and that. Yep. 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 Meanwhile, you got like a weird C program that also runs everywhere. You just need to find the correct compiler for it. True, I have to admit that can sometimes be a bit of a hassle. Because dependency hell in C is definitely a little bit higher than in things like Java. Because at least in Java, you don't really have to worry about the entire dependency problem. Because you just load the jar files you need and you're fine, and you're done. Whereas in C, you do have to make sure that the binary interface is correct and your API interface is correct. And if it's off by just the tiniest fraction, funky stuff starts to happen. Alright, what do we just research? The drum magazines, perfect. Grenade weapons? Ooh. You can't use truck wheels in the Lamborghini? Yep, definitely. Let's see, we can't see past this tech, but there's weapon shooting speed over there. There's rocketry. Yes, please. Rocket turrets, absolutely. The mortars, please. The personal auto machine guns, please. Yeah, give me those grenade launchers as well. Now, see what Python said, that your dependency installs its dependencies, and the bad thing about Python is its dependency installs its dependencies. Yeah, but Python also got a long way for its dependency handling. It used to be for most of the time, up to like, I guess, like the last couple of years, it was this absolute nightmare of setting up any kind of Python project. Because once your base version of Python updates, all your dependencies also have to update, and then suddenly everything was just like, bleh, and everything usually broke. It still does, but it got so much better with either A, just using Docker, or B, using Python virtual environments, or C, using any of the cool Python tools to install stuff, like Poetry, or just basic setup tools. Man, those fuckers are tough! Well, what happened to you? What? Why did you do what? I guess they were already aiming at it. Oh, what are those? Oh, probably from over there. Yeah, Python can definitely be very convoluted and very scary at the same time. Especially if you just kind of write shit in it. You have a lot of freedom in Python. Which is great, but at the same time can also cause a lot of issues. It's also one of the things I usually kind of try to not use are build systems that are written in Python. Like, for example, in C++, I usually tend to use CMake because it's its own thing. It only does builds for C++. And even though some people complain about it for valid reasons, there's some stone going over there. I personally do enjoy it because it's one tool for one job, and it just only does that. But if you got like a build system that suddenly can run Python in it, or that is Python based, every time I saw a build system that using a program or a project that's using like a Python based build system, it always escalates. It always goes out on a weird script at some point in time that somebody put in there at some point in time just to try to do something with it. That freedom end with you. What? That freedom end when you want to Tokyo, customize arrays, searching, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. Python is great for scripting. That's the only reason I use Python for. Like to make a quick script and to get things going. And once it gets more complicated, it either goes into C or it goes into a well-managed Python solution. But yeah, enough about that. I'm already getting tired, to be perfectly honest. And talking about programming is not making it any easier. Alright. But at least we got some stone going over there. Perfect, so that's going over there as well. What is our next big task? Our next big task is actually to get that resin going. And what was blocking us over there again? There was nothing really blocking us, right? We got the nitrogen. We're not really doing the ammonia. Oh, no. We wait. Oh, wait. This thing! Yes! Artillery is coming in as well. Well, not really pure artillery. It's going to be the mortar turrets over there that are going to be doing what we need to do. But they're not really good artillery. But at least mortar turrets over there, or mortar shots over there, is just more grenades and more steel to them. So they're kind of cheap. We could maybe try to upgrade our walls with that. But all in all, the mortar turret over there. Where is that thing? Is it kebab time again? That kebab place is again. Getting some smells over here. Some good smells, but at the same time, what the fuck, man? Where is that mortar turret? There it is. So, this is the mortar turret. Comes in 8 orientations, that's kind of neat, but it doesn't really have a lot of range. It does have a decent amount of range. It will probably help us out over there like a little bit in taking care of what we need to take care of it, but yeah. The biggest problem that we currently have over here with these walls over there is just that supplying them is a little bit annoying and everything, but we'll take care of that in a second or two. Good. We need to upgrade you to this so that we can use this recipe over there, finally. Alright, input, output is still going to be the same. 3.5 items go in and 3.5 items go out, right? It's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Yep, that'll be fine. So, 1 belt in, 1 belt out. Good, but at the same time, we're going to get some more materials out of this, because we're also going to get ourselves some silver out of this, as well as some tin ore. So, at the moment, the copper, which is the main chunk over there, is going over here. We're also getting some tin out of this, right? Yes, we are. So what we could do over there is doing something like this. And by this, I would rather mean this and that. Upper priority over there at the top will be the tin ore. And on top of that, we're not only going to get tin out of this, we're also going to get silver out of this, as well as F7. Alright. How do we put that? Fuck. I can't really move you along here, not good enough yet. Tin F7. We could put the F7 all the way over there. What do you plan that for? Sephiroth? I'll guess we put the silver over there and the F7 over there, because it is available over there. Sure, why not? Wow, she didn't interact with that entire string? Ah. There's a reason we built it like that. That'll be fine. Why? You over there, you're gonna be F7. This stuff. You over there, you're gonna be silver. Alright, that should be all that we need. And then we can finally also unleash this one over there. Yeah, let's just remove the filter. Get those chunks going, alright. While we're at it, we now got some new sorters in the pocket. But if we want to sort chunks, we do need to upgrade them again. So that's gonna mean we got these chrotinium chunks over there, which will get us to lead and aluminum. So for that, we need to make some more of these ore sorting facilities. So let's make some more ore sorting facilities, shall we? We probably also need to pick up some clay bricks because we don't have enough to... Well, we have enough to make one, but we need to make some more. Good, good, good. Was there a stream for the update of Arknet's Enfield? Yes, there was one. I think a week or two ago. We basically went through the main story of the update, and that was it. You'll find it in the WOTS. Alright, alright, alright. Bum bum bum. My tired brain is looking for bricks. There we go. And they are. I'm also kind of thinking of streaming that other gacha game I picked up at random, because it is a surprising amount of fun. And I'm kind of surprised that I don't really know anybody talking about it. And again, I don't really talk to anybody about gacha games, so that might probably be part of the problem. But it's a surprising fun amount to play, in my opinion. Which was, and I have to look the name up because it's one of those weird names where you just have to kind of read it to actually understand it. Yeah, what is it called? Chaos Zero something something something. Come on, boot up. I can probably just look it up over here and look just faster. There it is. Chaos Zero Nightmare. There we go. Yeah, shut up over there. Which is just basically Slay the Spire with jiggle physics. I think that's already enough to say, isn't it? Slay the Spire with jiggle physics. There we go. I mean, every gacha game these days is just jiggle physics. Ten-second delay on your iPhone? It kind of depends. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you might have... Actually, no, you're on the Twitch side. Never mind. I mean, I can't really do much about the delay. The delay is just a thing that happens. Refreshing might help a bit. Alright, we got enough power poles and everything. Yeah, we probably got enough to set up the next process over there. Speaking of the next process, we can just get one of these 4-in-1 sorters out, and we just place you right over there. That'll be fine. Your main input is gonna be Crotinium. And your main output is iron, I think, isn't it? Oh, actually, it's copper. Never mind. Alright, copper it is. iPad has 1 second, while the S23 phone has 10. It might... Are you connected to your own Wi-Fi? I guess you are. It would be a bit weird if you're not connected to your own Wi-Fi with your iPhone. But if you're going in via mobile broadband, it might just be that. Because mobile broadband is always under a higher delay. Well, we can make one of these. And then white of copper. Both same Wi-Fi, yeah, then I don't know. Might also just be the iPhone trying to buffer some more stuff or something like that, who knows. Alright. Hey, this was a 12.5 second delay latency on a wired connection. Wow. Alright, let's just bullcraft some stuff real quick. Pum 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 pum. All these, one of those. There we go. The amount of signs we're actually processing over there, and that's actually going in over there, seems a bit off. Are we making decent full speed? Well, the grenades are a bit lacking. Why are the grenades lacking? Ah. Wait. Is that for all of them? One of these is not like the others. There we go. I mean, since the inserter arms do go to sleep, I do think this is fast enough. But yeah, these are not running at full efficiency yet. That doesn't really explain why this is not all the way back up over there, but that is fine. As long as we're consuming what we're producing, I'm fine with that. Alright, alright. Now, we're making some N7 over there. We need to start figuring out what we can do with the N7 over there. That's also part of the problem over here. That's probably going to be a big problem we're going to be running into sooner or later. That the more I babble on over here about what we want to do, the more these buffers over here fill up, and the more we're probably going to be running into issues that we need to sort our ores better to get going. So, yeah. Let's just keep on moving with this, shall we? We might as well already put in the red machines over there, because why not? If you try moving closer to the source. Maybe close the window. You're letting the Wi-Fi out. Your neighbor is eating it all. This one. And then you over there, and you over there. Good. The slack line over there is still fine. We can still upgrade this to a yellow belt if we really need to, but that is fine. Alright, at the moment it's going to be doing cruthenium, which means it's mostly going to be copper. And then a little bit of iron. Let's move this up by like a little bit. Let's move it up by like a little bit more. Then let's make the output road over there. And set this to this. There we go. So we can pick up these real quick. So we can do that. I don't have those. There we go. Good. That will be more iron over there. And then we also got the copper belt over there. Here we go. And we can do the exact same thing over there. Here we go. One more of these. Oi! What the hell? And then just to realize that the cruthenium is all the way over there. That's fine. I'm gonna have a bit of a wonky belt. It's not the first time that we have a bit of a wonky belt. Good, at least now we can get rid of this cruthenium over there. We should do one thing real quick before we get another shipment over here. And that is flip you over from cruthenium crushed to cruthenium chunks. There you go. And we'll add it. Set the filter over there for real quick for the cruthenium. This is just like a temporary thing. Same thing we did over there. Because at some point in time we're going to get like a mixed shipment in here, and so that we don't really mix and match our stuff over there, we're just going to filter out just the crushed cruthenium over there until this is empty. And once that is the case, then we are going to... where are you going with this? I guess we're going to bring it over there. Sure. Alright, so that we can get those chunks going over there as well. Perfect. I see you. Good. I do love this entire amount of slack we're getting from over there. We 10 years? Well, it's gonna be 10 years of fun then. Alright, I'm also playing this really, really slow. I could probably play it faster, to be perfectly honest, but I'm just kind of enjoying my time with Bobs and Angels, because I'm just kind of nostalgic about this one over there. Just the entire Bob and Angel process again, even though it's gonna get annoying at some point apart, I'm just enjoying it so much. Alright. Yeah, the biggest thing that we now need more of is aluminum. We got the silver. That's slowly moving in over there. That is good. We got some of this F7 over there, which we still need to figure out something to do with. We can set up the next sorting process, which I guess we're going to be placing right over there. Which I guess will be whatever you are going to be. Why is this such a mess over here? What the fuck have we been doing down here? But we still need to get ourselves some aluminum. Aluminum. Either Givelite. Nah, Crotinium has already got us covered over there. So technically we got all the parts that we need. So what we should do is prepare our Crotinium output so that we can also move the lead along and the aluminum along. So let's do that. And for that we need some of these and probably some white belt, because we're kind of low on white belt. And it also gonna means that we're gonna need at least one more of these. Let's place you over there. Let's place you over there. This one will be for the aluminum. Which then does gonna mean that we need to split this off. Like somewhere over there. Yeah, rotate this away for a second. You over there, you get an upper priority over there for the aluminum ore. And then somewhere down the line over here. Like, how about right over there? Let's turn you off for a second. You're gonna get an upper priority over here at the bottom for lead ore. Which we can then connect up over there. There you go. Good, that works. Perfect. So you're prepared for the future as well. The only thing we then need to do is to get this aluminum ore all the way over there. I think she kind of broke another connection a little bit further at the bottom. Let's double check this belt real quick, and right over there. Good. Alright. And you just work your way through the crushed stuff over there. We still got quite a bit of crushed stuff over there. It's gonna take some time before we get through that, before we can switch over to the aluminum recipe. But that doesn't really mean that we can't really already start thinking about making our catalyst setup. Now, we kind of wanted to use the bouncy pathway all the way down over here where we need it. And we can probably start focusing a little bit more over here on our overall oil processing, because we kind of started this process, I think, like 2 weeks ago already, and then we kind of forgot about it for a bit. Mostly because we need those catalysts. So let's make sure that let's pick up some iron, some steel real quick. Just so that we can pocket craft whatever we need to build down there, whatever we really need. And also, can we just get this copper ore over here sorted real quick? Have some of these. Yeah, it should be fine. And we don't really need the salt over there. The salt over there, we can just throw this in wherever we're making the green circuits, which is right over there. Boop. Alright. So, yes. Multiple things we need to do. We need to make ourselves some liquid plastic, and we need to make ourselves some liquid resin. The resin project was again formaldehyde and urea. The urea recipe over there is just out of ammonia and carbon dioxide, and the ammonia recipe over there requires the red metal catalyst. Sure, no worries with that. We can do that. And then the formaldehyde process over there requires the green metal catalyst, which requires even more methanol gas. So methanol is actually going to be the very important part for us to make a lot of, because not only does methanol over here make formaldehyde, methanol over there also makes the propene that we need. And propene is the main thing that we currently need to make ourselves some plastics. So getting ourselves a dedicated methanol setup is definitely a very good idea. And then of course we got the other way of making propene. One was of course over here by... Oh, we can also just combine carbon dioxide and hydrogen straight up with green metal catalyst. But I don't really want to rely too much on green metal catalyst, because the amount of aluminum and the amount of silver we're going to be making is still going to be considered rare. So I don't really want to go too hard on that. But naphtha over there. Naphtha we can turn into propene. Which means, I guess, we might just want to use most of our naphtha for plastic. And most of our methanol over there for resin. We've tried any planet mods like Ruby and Space Age? Not yet. I still kind of want to get more into planet mods in Space Age. But... how to put it? I'm kind of happy with what I usually have in front of me. I mean, the last planet-like mod that we played was more than Space Age. Not Space Age, SpaceX. But that does its own little thing. Do we have the biomethanol recipe from wood and wood fiber? Ooh, is that the thing? Is biometh. Nutrient pulp? Oh. We can make some acetone out of it. Wait a minute. Just methanol. Methanol. Ah. That makes it so much easier. Why are we not doing this one? That's so much easier. But the entire oil process is like, do this, do that. You gotta make products you can't use yet, so store them somewhere. Then do this, and then do that. Or we can cook some shit. Because the only thing we need is cellulose fiber. And cellulose fiber over there. How do we do that one again? We can make the other stuff as well. Cellulose fiber. That is all in here, isn't it? Yeah, there's the recipe. Methanol gas from wood. It does take quite a bit, but we can scale this up. We just need some liquefiers for that. That's not going to be much of an issue. And we can get cellulose fiber either from green algae production over there, where we just take some mineralized water and some carbon dioxide. Or, alternatively, we can get some cellulose fiber from a wood setup. Now, we've been using those weird little wood farms previously. But if we really want to go down the path of Angel's and Bob's wood processing, or Angel's bioprocessing over there, I would not want to use these wood farms. I would rather go down the correct path over there with the arboratory, what are they called again? Arboretum, there we go. From wood and green algae, yes. And then just go the path over there with just taking some iron plates over there, turning them into a timberous saw blade, nice. And maybe trying to get ourselves some fertilizer going. What do we need for the entire wood process over here? Algae farm. We got the seed generators for there. We got the arboretum over there. A tree requires soil, tree seeds, and some water. Soil is sand and compost, or mud and compost, or... oh, how do we make compost then? How does one make compost? Let's look in here real quick. There it is. Compost. Used in alternative recipes, compost recycling. Where's it made in? They ever published that Diagonal Ribbon World mod? No. At some point in time, I maybe should. I mean, it's very, very bugged and everything. Wait a minute. Oh, these are the alternative recipes. Mostly from brown algae or from green algae. Also, what's being eaten? Nothing is being eaten. Well, the bots are being eaten, but we know about that. Bum 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 bum. But yes, compost. Made in a composter. Duh! From either brown algae. We can also compost wood. Wood is 1-to-1. Whereas brown algae is 3-to-1. And then there might be a good one over there. Is there a YouTube playthrough? I think there is. There is definitely a playlist for that. Just keep in mind that at some point in time it kind of abrupt suddenly. Because I was very fed up at the end. But we definitely got some fun builds out of it. And we even had some diagonal spaceships, which was kind of fun as well. And the downside of having this many recipes over here, we do have to check. I'm kind of curious to see if there is a recipe in here that makes more than one compost. But that does not seem to be the case now. Wood goes 1-to-1 into compost. That seems like a good deal. So, yeah, one timber saw blade, 1 tree will make us, well, 7 wood, 6 to 8, average is 7. That is fine. And we might get a saw blade back, or we might not get it back. That is fine as well. We can make them on demand if we need to. Good. Which means a tree over there requires 5 soil and 2 tree seeds. Tree seeds over there require 5 soil. Soil requires compost. Quite a bit of it actually. Wait a minute. That feels kind of odd and off. We can search for text to contain that recipe with a normal search. That's very true as well. But I kind of usually like to ponder a bit and browse a bit to see what else is around. All in all, this kind of the idea of making compost out of wood does not really seem like a good idea. Because a tree over there is 2 tree seeds. It's 10 compost over there. If I look at the total row over there, a single... Okay, that's 4 trees. Never mind, that's 4 trees. Not 1 tree. Alright, then it might be fine. Because a single tree, we would be spending about 1.5 trees on pure compost. And then we would get the other 2.5 trees for ourselves. Alright. And then we can start generating wood with that. Yeah, let's set this up. I like this. Let's have a gander. I guess we need one of these, right? Because you over here, you make the trees, yes. And then we're gonna need the compost machine. Where's the compost machine? Compost. There it is. Oh, whoop. There it is. Compost machine to make the compost. Bioprocessor. Maybe we need the bioprocessor. What does the bioprocessor do? That's for making resin. No, we don't need that. Nutrient extractor. I don't think we need that either. Nope. There it is. Temperate tree seed generator, swamp tree seed generator, or desert tree seed generator. What do these do? Alright, they just require one of the special trees to be made, so we need one of these. Can we then not... That's a bit odd. How do we make more of the tree seed generators then? Or is there actually just a limited amount of these that we can make? Turn trees, seedlings into trees specialized for temperate climate conditions. I don't really think that this over here is a fully fledged... By finding more trees, yes. But shouldn't we be able to craft our own trees? But also the... I guess at some point in time they probably wanted to work more on a biome process for this, but I don't think that was ever fully implemented. Alright, that'll be fine. We're also going to need an assembly machine every now and then. Let's just place one down over there real quick. You over there, you make bus sauce. I also saw the other recipe in here for... I guess we could use mud for that. We could go all the way to sand. No, mud. Because using sand, we require more compost. Why would you even do this recipe? Making mud is so easy. How do you make mud? Okay, vicious mud water. Now that's how we make vicious mud water. How do we make mud? We need to go the other way around. Mud! How to make schlam? We could just do the entire water process, and that will give us probably all the mud that we need. All the way down to saline water, sure, that'll be fine. Alright. Tree seed. I'll guess that's what you're doing. So you're making 0.13 tree seeds per second. You over there, you need 0.003. I guess it's a 1:4 ratio. Let's have a correct look at the recipe over there. You make 4 every 15. And you over there, you require 2 every 30. Or 1 every 15. Yeah, it's a 1:4. It's a perfect 1:4, which actually means we could probably do something like this, right? We could just place you over there. You over there. You over there. Flip you around. You over there. Let's do something like something. We even have some space over there for some water pipes. Nah, really? Alright. All over there. Alright. Which means that the only thing we need to do over there is to supply you with soil. 0.16 soil per second. That is basically a 1:1. So how about we place you maybe over there? Which means that you over there you require compost. The compost machine is the only one over there that's has a bit of a question mark on top of it. Compost. Not over there. Look over there, please. Compost. If we do make it out of wood, then you're going to be making 1 compost per second per crafting speed. Your crafting speed is 2. Your crafting speed is less than that. So, yeah, we could just 1:1 these. I don't think these are too expensive. How much methanol will you get when you're limited by seed machines, actually? We can do the entire calculation for that in a second or two. Let's just ghost this together, and then we can figure out how much will be coming out at the end. So, these will then be making trees. That is fine. We're getting 0.06 trees per second. We need to do something with those grenades, trees, I mean. Mortar weapon upgrade. Ooh. Ooh. Mortar illumination shells? Ooh. White phosphorus? Tell me more. Mortar fire shells? Wait a minute. Yes. Yes. Well, yes as well, but later, yes. Laser shooting speed. Energy weapon bonus damage. Primer thrower inserters. The ironclad. And then also just weapon shooting speed. Let's put that in there real quick. Wait a minute. Cold War weapons? Yes, please. What the fuck is this? Remote explosives. Fuck that. Wait a minute. Yes. Grenade launchers? Yes. Sadly, we can't do modern firearms yet. Boo. Pom 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 pom. Then do this. Then do that. There we go. You know, it's a missed opportunity when the waifu girlfriend doesn't tell dad jokes. Well, this day and age, everybody can be looking like that, I guess. But it would still be a bit weird if your waifu suddenly starts telling dad jokes, you're gonna be like, wait, what? What did I miss? Actually, oh, we could make this even better. Wait a minute, I just noticed something over here. Oh, that's kind of neat. I like this. Then again, that's not a throughput, that's only an input. But we can make that happen. Alright. So, if this all over here is running over there, we got like 4 of these. Then we're going to be making 16 trees for 1 tree every 7.5 seconds. 4 trees every 7.5 seconds. Let's say 0.5 tree per second, if we're very generous. And where do we process these trees? Is it just being done in an assembly machine? It sure is. How many trees do you need? 0.375. So 0.6, 0.12, 0.24. Yeah, technically all of these can go into one of these. 0.12, 0.24. And then we still have some extra space on top for that. That'll be fine. You also craft the soil craft that's also needed for the tree farm needs? I did not. I only thought about the soil that you need directly, which is definitely a 1-to-1. How much soil do you need? 0.08. Which means, technically, one over there. Also, guys, we got Mojo over there. If you don't know who Mojo is, go check him out for yourself. He is bloody amazing. Mojo, what have you been up to these days? Are you still playing your Timberborn game? I picked it up again Friday 2 weeks ago, and I didn't pick it up ever since again. I really want to get back into it because Timberborn is such a fun game. Let's just also make you your own composter and you your own composter. There we go. You neither? Ah. Yeah, last Friday I was kind of out of it for a bit. Sorry to say about that. I got an idea for this. We can make a nice little butterfly out of this. Play it for 5 hours and then full Factorio. Nice. I mean, that's also a very good choice. We can butterfly it. Alright. We could do this with some funky saw blade handling, or we could do this differently. But I'm kind of thinking of something like this. So, yeah, the amount of soil you need over there will be handled by you. The tree seeds will be handled by you. That's good. Water is not going to be an issue at all. We can ignore that. And then you're going to be making ourselves some of these lovely logs over there. That's all fine. 2.62 in total. And then once we go into this process over there, we want to go into the methanol gas from wood. We need to turn our wood over there into cellulose fiber. There's a recipe for that. That is right over there. So let's put down one of these real quick. You over there, you start making cellulose fiber. You would eat 0.75 wood per second to turn that into twice the amount of cellulose fiber. Now, there is a bit of a loop we need to keep into account over there. Wood goes 1-to-1 into compost. So we're gonna need about, let's just take the accurate number over there, 0.18, 0.18, and 0.018 over there. So 0.46, and then another 18 on top. Is that 0.48? My brain is not there today. 46, and then another 18 on top. That is 44, 0.54. So 0.54 wood. We can just assume. Let's just make a clear assumption that we're going to result over there in a flat 2 wood per second, because 0.62 is going to be put back into the machine over there to turn that into tree seeds as well as soil. So we're going to get 2 wood per second out over there and 2 wood per second out over there, which means we can turn this entire thing over there, we could turn that into 4 wood per second and then into 8 wood pulp, not wood pulp, 8 cellulose fiber per second, and then 8 cellulose fiber per second over there. We can turn that into 40 methanol gas per second if we make enough liquefiers over there. Of which we would need quite a bit, because every liquefier running at craft speed 1 would eat 0.66 wood per second, and we got like, what did we say? Oh, not wood per second, so it was 5 per second. We got 8 incoming, and then 0.66, it's gonna be like 3, 6, 12. Probably 12. That's not too bad. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I like this. The more I think about it, the more I like it. All right. Let's get this out of this corner over there. We're probably going to skip this oil stage for now. We're going to get back to oil, because later on, oil makes a lot more sense to use than what we're doing right now. But at the moment, the only thing we kind of want to do is make some freaking plastic. At least make some methanol. And methanol we can turn into plastic and turn into resin. So it does make a lot of sense that we set up a little bit of a wood process over there. Also, okay, pollution-wise we're doing fine. Also, how we're doing for... oh, look at that. All the miners around the Tiberium are all kinda not running, which is good, which means we got this Tiberium field under control. Perfect. So let's place this somewhere where we have a little bit more. Let's go over here. And let's stick it together over there. Doesn't the saw cycle? It sure does. We need to give that saw a little bit more, how to put it, a little bit more logic. So that we either only craft a saw when we need to, but the saw still needs to kind of hot potato itself, which is going to be a little bit annoying. There's a couple ways we could do that, but okay, now that we're all the way over there, we can have a better look at this. All right, let's set this up a little bit further then. So we're gonna need this, we're gonna need that, we're gonna need this, we're gonna need that. You're gonna be making the trees. Right, these are still on long head mode. Oh shit, they're all on long head mode. What the hell? One moment, please. That was kind of horrible. Don't do long head mode. There you go. Managed not to kill the colony this time? Nice. Well, we also didn't kill the colony last time around, but we were very close to. We almost had beaver cannibalism come out. Shift L? I'll try to remember. There we go. I like this. That's good. Alright, that will go all into there. As for you, let's pull you out a little bit like this, and you a little bit out like that. And then we can do this, that, and that, and this, so that we can connect you up and down. Fermine, why are you lying to me? Shift L does nothing. Fermine, I'm very disappointed in you. Hover over the insert and press Shift I. Alright. Fermine, what the fuck, man? Can't do this like this, man. Nah, I'm pretty sure that my Wayland controls over there are just not taking in. Might work on place inserters. That might actually be the thing. Actually, let's test it out real quick. If we place one of these down. Ah! Alright, Fermine. We're good again. Only works on actually placed. That's actually kind of curious. Because I didn't really think there would be so much of a difference of state between these two. Alright, but that looks good over there because this is an entire bioprocess. We're gonna get wood out of this. Let's just move you out over there for a second. That will be for later. What do we do over there? I mean, there will be just like a pure belt of iron coming in over there somewhere. Dealing with these buzzsaws. They're gonna be made. There's two ways we could do that. We could do something like this, and then something like that. And then... How stupidly complicated do we want to make this? We could be very good at making it stupidly complicated, or we could just keep it very simple and stupid. Simple and stupid might work. Even though this does not look simple and stupid at all. But it's gonna be simple and stupid. Wait a minute. Why does this feel so fucking wrong? Wait a minute. No, fuck that. No. What we could just do is... Yeah, just do this. Just use some fucking belt, man. But there is gonna be... yeah, what we could do is wire up these and wire up those. We're gonna read this one, hold it, for both of them. And you're only gonna be enabled if everything over there is 0. That's how it works, right? Yeah, if there's nothing on the belt, it will be true. And then we can just flush some stuff over there. We could technically also solve it with like a splitter and stuff like that, but this is fine. This is perfectly fine. So, yes. We do need to filter you though. We're gonna filter you for the blade. There they are. Oh, we get some better blades later on. Ooh, nice. And the more I think about it, the more I think it will be better if we place you over there. Technically, it doesn't really matter where the stuff is gonna be, because one side over there is gonna be handling the buzzsaws, whereas the other side over there is gonna be handling the wood. Good. And then we do this and we do that. And we filter you for wood. There you go. And over there you will also be wood. Alright, all that wood will be going into the left and into the right or something like that. We can take this entire thing. Let's move you over like a little bit further over there. Good. We do need to splice off some of this wood for their own resupply. What we could do... This is all kind of far away for all this compost over there. Or let's put it differently. It's going to be a fairly long belt going outwards over there, just to supply all of these with compost, but I guess it's just going to be a price we have to pay. Finnan, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we could just move all the way over there, and then we do something like we split you off over there. And then we split you off again over there. You go up, you go down, you go straight. With the upper priority over there at the bottom. And then it's going to be a 50-50 split. Doesn't matter. No, it really doesn't. It's just me being like a little bit like, do we really need to buffer that many items? But at the same time, nah. Just go with it. It'll be fine. You in over there, you in over there, and you in over there. Fermi, didn't you ask it already like last time around? Are you still looking for memory? Or was it somebody else that asked around last time around? But nah, I don't have any DDR4 memory lying around. I got some DDR5 memory lying around, and that's probably going to be worth like $1,000 at this point in time. Alright, but that's going to be straight wood into whatever we need. And then this is going to go over there into our processing. Good. Sure, I'll be fine. In exchange for a DDR5. Ooh. Alright, we do know one thing, and that is that this is 1.5. That's... Let's see. So we're getting 4 pieces of wood. So this is 1.5. Yeah, we need a little bit more than that. And we're gonna be doubling it down as well. We could definitely do this. That'll work. Move these up by 1. Thank you very much. That will be turned into 8 pieces each. Now, there's a little bit of a problem over here if we use the white belt over here, and that is that 8 pieces do not fit on the half side of a white belt. So we need to be a little bit creative over there. But let's just, the outputs real quick. Output, output, output. Something like this will be fine. At least then we have a little bit more space on that. And then we can just take the entire thing over there. We can flip you around. There we go. Perfect. And then technically together they can go into a yellow belt even if we would want to. Because 4 goes in and 8 comes out. Actually, that is a yellow belt. That is definitely a yellow belt. Alright, and then we get into the fermentation stage. And for the fermentation stage, we got some liquefiers Mark II over there. Speaking of, arboreums. I don't think we got the Mark II of those yet, do we? Where the fuck are they? They're over there. No, neither do we have these desert tree seed makers. Let's have a look at those real quick. When do we get... Oh, so we can make these trees. Now wait, these are different trees. Oh, there's an entirely different tree process at some point in time. The one we're currently making is fine, but there are already upgrades within our reach, which we're just not doing right now. So we might need to replan this. We do need some alien plant life samples. How do we make the samples? The entire process we're doing over here might be null and void by the things we're trying to do beforehand. I mean, this is fine, but I think it could be so much better. Pom 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 pom. What are they called? Sorry. Also, when did we get them? I guess we get them from... We don't get them from composting. We don't get them from over here either. Your prerequisite should be this thing. The plant life samples. Okay, how do we make those? There they are. Plant life samples. Alright, alright, alright. Used in... No. That's what we use them. How do we make them? There we go. A desert garden or any kind of garden will make some of these plant life samples. And we got a couple of those gardens. And that will at least allow us to maybe set up, for example, any one of these tree processes. We can even get the fermentation process over here. We can make some schnapps. Yes! Schnapps it is! There's also probably a better resin recipe over here. Oh, wait a minute. This feels kind of odd. Is this odd? Does this even work? 4 pieces of resin and 100 ethanol gas make up to somewhere between 10 and 40 liquid resin. An average of that will be 25. But every piece of resin, isn't that like 10? Resin, there we go. Oh, that's wood resin. Different kind of resin. Actually, no, there's also this resin. Yeah, every piece of resin is 10 liquid resin. Wait, what the hell am I looking at over there? Pom 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 pom. Which process was it even? It's gone. The process, it's gone. There's also the agriculture module. What do you do? A module that increases productivity, but only usable for agriculture products. Ooh, okay. Liquid rubber. Liquid plastic. Yeah, there we go. We're looking at this one over there. I can also turn ethanol gas into liquid resin. I'm not quite sure what this one over here is trying to do. But we should probably set up some of this, because I think we get at least... We should be able to do some of these. Crystal splinter processing. What the hell? Yeah, this one over there. There's the arboretum number 2. And these ones over there are probably the better recipes. Harmonic crystal splinters. Crystal tipped saw blades. Alright. There's a whole bunch of shite in there. How do we get those splinters then? What the hell? Okay, maybe we just make this just to get going, because I just want some fucking resin. I want some red circuits. But we should make some of these. I think it was the seed extractor. And we got some of those gardens. Let's just dump them in there and do some of the tech, because I think it will be good. Bum 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 bum. That's the temperate tree. That is some jivolite ore. That's another tree. That's a swamp garden. My inventory is full. Bum bum bum. Yeah, I have these. We don't need these right now. Give me the swamp garden. We got some more of these. I'm pretty sure I picked up some more of those. I'm definitely sure. I definitely ran some of those over with my car. More temperate trees in there. Can we just filter in here for garden? Oh yes, fuck, we can. Alright, but out there are some gardens. Alright, we're going on the quest. And the quest is, where the fuck is my car? My car's all the way over there. Also, how's the continuing process going? You're still processing? Perfect. How much more is left? Oh, you're empty! You're empty! I think we looked at this just in time, because I can still see it move over there. That's perfect timing. Fuck yes. Alright. Cretinium. Chunks, please. And then you over there. Take the filter out. Only downside is we have not gotten a shipment of cretinium yet. Huh. Huh. Because we're back... Oh, yeah. Remember about that salt over there? We're not doing anything with that. Let's fix that as well. I got a warehouse for that. Also, the tiredness is slowly settling in, because technically now would be bedtime when you wake up at 5 AM. But let's push a bit. I need to push a bit for today. That's the main reason we're streaming today, to push my sleep cycle a little bit further into the more natural thing for me kind of order. Make an expectation for it? Not yet, not yet. But there's definitely going to be some kind of need we're going to have to do with all this salt we're making over there. Like this salt over there and that salt over there. What can we actually do with the salt? If we look at that. Salt. We can probably just turn it into... We can't just wash it away. Combine it up with some water. Turn it into saline water. And... it feels a bit of a waste, to be perfectly honest. We can do both. We can do absolutely do both. How much salt do you make? 1.5 per second. Perfect. Can we make at least... You get up at 5? I got up at 5 like the last couple of days, and it's kind of getting to me. I mean, it's kind of nice waking up that early, because when I'm getting kind of tired, I look at the clock and kind of realize, like, it's still like before before noon, and it's like, what the hell? Alright, you start storing that up over there, but at some point in time, we can't store it up over there anymore. Salt. That's when we use a... Oh. What? We need a salination plant for that? We need red circuits to make fucking salt water? Alright, put it in the bin. I'll be back. At least the process over there will keep on going, because, yeah, we need those chunks. There they are. How many chunks do we have over there? Not that many. Yeah, it was not really the best idea to keep this process over there stalled like that. Speaking of processes that are stalled, what about you? That looks good. We got a stone delivery available over there if we would need to. And aren't you technically open? You sure are open. We got a stone request, but apparently we got no stone provision. Oh, because it's slightly off balance, I see. Fair enough. So we almost have a stone provision. Alright, let's set up this seed extractor up real quick. And then we're gonna find ourselves a car. And then we're gonna harvest ourselves some gardens real quick. And then we're gonna do some garden research. Also, we're making all the lovely red ammo over there, and we're not even storing it. Can we make 2 of these? You over there, and you over there. You over there. We're gonna filter you for granada. Grenade. We're gonna filter you for red ammo. Oh wait, that's no filter. We're gonna read the entire build. And you're only going to be enabled if red ammo over there is larger than, say, 100. And you're only going to be enabled if grenades over there... Oh, there's too much warfare in there. Grenades over there are larger than, say, 60. And then we're going to limit you to this. And we're not going to limit this one over there. Good, 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 good. Alright. Garden. Seed extractor, it was, I think. Yeah, desert gardens, or swamp gardens, or temperate gardens. Have my swamp garden, please. And then let's put temperate garden in there. Alright, that's gonna take some time. It's taking like 5 minutes per pop, but that's fine. Just make some of this research, please. In the meantime, let's go fetch ourselves some gardens. I missed. Ow. I hit that. Absolutely. Alright, there was one over here somewhere. I could look at the map. I should probably look at the map. Where the fuck am I going? It's all the way over there. What do you mean inventory is full? What do we get out of this? Do I not get the garden on its own? Do I get all that shite as well? Really? Alright. No, I don't. I get the temperate garden. Are you able to craft alarms at this point? I could. But what would I need an alarm for? Well, sorry, what? I think something was under my car over there. There's a puffiness over there, there's another garden over there. Puffinest and garden. Excuse me. Alright, put the sex toys in the car. That's a puffinest. I think those are two gardens over there. Also, what's that? That's a tree. That's a garden. That's puffinest. Puffinest. A swamp garden. Swamp garden. Biters. Let's go to swamp gardens real quick. I mean, it's probably a good idea to pick them up now, because the longer they just stay on the floor like that, the more likely it is that they're just going to run them over by accident at some point in time. And I'm pretty sure we already ran over like a couple of them. Also, that's a bit of an issue while we're here. There you go. Alright, what are we looking for again? We're looking for that thing over there and that thing somewhere over there. Good. Swamp garden. We also got some wheaten. Alright. This is Will Wheaton. Oh, I found a rock. And I guess because we can get like one of those at random, it's not really the full expectancy over there that we get all those things, but we get like a couple of those things. So let's make some space, and yeah, we already got a swamp garden of that, that's fine. Alright, more garden warfare. There's one more over there. That's a puffiness over there. And alright, let's go for the south. Dog Spano!
It is the most glorious of glorious anniversaries. It's finally time when I get to celebrate my 69 neen with bold Viking. Truly his beard has tickled things that are better left unmentioned. Bold you mad lad. Here to the other 69 of 96 months.
Doc Spano, I'm sorry to say, but you missed the cool number by 2. It's 6-7 now. 6-9 is like, it's ancient. It's the old code. It's the old gods. We worship the new ones over here. Doc Spano! 69 months! Thank you so much for that. And yes, this beard has tickled many things. Mostly my own nose when I'm asleep. There you go. It's significant as well. It's what the cool kids do these days. Hello, fellow children. I'm one of yous. Or something like that. How does that meme go? Kids are well underaged, but I'm about to break them and tell them 6'7" is nothing compared to 6'9". But they will call authorities on me afterwards. Or my announcement for the big trim? Yep. I mean, having that big bushy beard was a lot of fun, but at the same time, Like, once it gets at a certain length and it actually starts to tickle your balls while you just sit around and you just go like, why are my balls tickling? You kind of realize it's your beard on your own balls. So you're going to be like, yeah, it's time to shave that thing. That thing got way too long. Do you want to imagine the position? 6-7? Isn't that just basically just lying on the stretcher? On the massage table? There you go. Or just sitting in a chair backwards. Alright, any more nests we can pick up? There's one over there. And I think that we have enough nests for now. Ain't that just a BJ? Do children even know what it is these days? Or at least the cool kids. Maybe not children. That might be a bit too young for them. Or too early for them. Then again, you will always be surprised how much those little idiots know from way early on. Oh, they know. Yeah, they do know that. You have a 16-year-old? At 6-7, when you sit on a private jet on the flight to a certain island, this is going to be used 20 years later. Ah, I'm still kind of curious where that story is going to end at some point in time. But yeah, one step after a while. Alright, you do some more of the garden stuff over there. Maybe after we've researched our grenade launchers, how about we do some wood research? Let's see. We will kind of want to get into the better wood process. Where's the better wood process? Temperature. The temperature wants to end. So this one, that one. We even get to go all the way over there into the tree arboretorium number 2, which allows us to make stuff like, well, more seeds, I guess. Huh. Alien plant life samples over there can be used over there to maybe make a temper. Oh, that's how to make a temper tree. Okay, I see. Pum. We can also turn it into raw bioresin. I don't think we need this tech. No. But this one over there seems like a great idea. Then again, this is tempered tree seeds. Wait a minute, maybe we do need that. This is with fertilizer and water to just make better. Okay, let's put it in there. Good. The fermentation process. Bioplastics. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yes, please. Oil pressing of plants. Raw vegetable oil out of nuts. Or pips. Or beans. Which we can then use to turn that into fuel oil or into base mineral oil. And then down over there we can take a Factorian fish and turn that into fish pulp. Oil pressing of fish 1. Which we can turn into lubricant. Ah, good old fish lubricant. Beans! Alright, let's put the beans in, alright. I don't even make the beans. I don't think we know how to make the beans. I think, don't we need the farming for that? That's where we get the wheat seeds from, the wheaten seeds. But where are the other farms? There they are. Temperate farming, that's wheaten again, sorry. Desert farming. That's the negligee fruit, the other fruit, and the binfern fruit. Temperate farming, swamp farming. Where do we get the beans from? Zombie eucalyptus? Well, let's start with the swamp one first. Let's put that in over there. We can already see the puffer refugium over there, which we don't really care too much about right now. I don't really see the beans anywhere just now. Butchery? Wait, gaseous puffers are organic? They're made up from meat? Alright, we're definitely, as always, going... we're so off course for this again. Oh. Whatever we plan to do today, we're kind of doing something different again, but I guess that is fine. At least is this person over there moving? That person over there is moving. That is the important one. Good. Good. Alright, but it's going to take some time before... Okay, it's already half full. It's not going to take too much time. But at least then we can get ourselves some of these other materials going. We only got like 3,000 silver over there. That's also kind of the reason why I don't really want to rely too much on those catalysts yet. Because we only got like 3,000 silver over there. And that's been running since, well, basically the start of the stream. So that's something we need to look out for. We are kind of backing up over here on lithium. Copper is doing okay-ish, I guess. Iron is still doing very, very strong over there, even though we're not really seeing that much iron coming in over there, but that's fine. Manganese over there is also still fine. I'm a little bit surprised about copper. And I think the main reason why I'm so surprised about copper is because we are not processing it fast enough? Question mark. That insert is just too slow. That's the main problem. Alright. One moment, please. We need an inserter for that. Hey, you. You're getting retired. No, actually, you're getting upgraded. Yeah, turn you even to a bulk inserter. Let's be fancy about it. There you go. Now we're spinning. So, but we're technically only making... Well, we're not really making the full 9 per second over there. We're only making 6. And you need 4.5, and you need a bit. That's fine, but you would be technically running at full speed. So you're making 45. We could technically put down another one of these if we would want to. Sadly, we don't really got any kind of overclock modules. And on top of that, it's kind of built a bit... Oh, what the fuck did we do over here? Yeah, can we turn these around? I kind of want to empty these out. And then I kind of want to put down like another 2 machines right over there. To push out more of this molten copper. Alright, fermentation processes and everything are coming in. Let's also do all the farming. And then let's see where the farming gets us. Alright, you're still running. We got 7 temperate gardens in there. We got another swamp garden in there. So you're still good to go for quite a while. Perfect. Not quite sure if we actually have all these signs over here available. We only need 40 of them. And each one of these makes 32. Also, what's up with green signs? Why are you having issues? You're missing inserters. Why are we missing inserters? Because you're missing brown ones. Why are we missing brown ones? Why are you being slow? Because you're missing copper. Alright. I know that cycle. Oh, Zach2G! Thank you so much for the gift sub. So we do need to do a little bit about the copper. So it's a really good idea that we are trying to empty these out as fast as we can. But that process is a bit too slow for me at the moment. Can we speed it up? If we pick up ourselves some inserters real quick. There we go. And then while we're at it, let's make this all yellow. And there we go. Now, this is only a short-term solution over here, just to fill up this belt a little bit faster. Also, where is that all the copper going into ammo? No. Really? I mean, you eat 2.25 per second, and then these over there eat another 2 each, so 6.25, and we're making less than that. So I guess it's accurate. Because we're making 1.5 over there, and we can go all the way up to 4.5. And even 4.5 is not really that fast. Ugh. Ah, no worries about that. I'm always happy when people are enjoying themselves here. I mean, the main reason why I stream, and I already told this story quite a couple of times already, and to be perfectly honest, it's kind of going backwards at some point in time, a little bit. But the main reason why I actually kind of stream is to keep improving on my English speaking. Because at some point in time, I kind of noticed that my English speaking skills were kind of terrible. Mostly because I just didn't use them anymore. And I kind of had like the problem at hand, so how do I fix that? Well, option one would be, well, just start talking more English to yourself, which technically I'm doing. But I was kind of like, yeah, that's not going to work. Go to a language school and talk to people over there. And I was like, nah. That also doesn't really sound like a good idea. And then I kind of thought to myself, hey, why not pick up this Twitch streaming and just see what happens? And it started out rough. I mean, Riveria, hello there. It started out really, really rough because I was at, I think, 2 or 3 viewers average for, I think, a month or two. Like, I was really starting out of nowhere. Like, absolutely nothing from nowhere. Bottom of the bin. Fresh account. Who's this? New phone. like nothing at all. And I know I was watching myself. There was one of the viewers, and one of my best buddies was also having me on the side the entire time. There was another viewer. And then every now and then there was be a third viewer in there. Whoever that was, thank you so much for that at the beginning. I do know one of those who that was. That was Mr. Pesca Masturbator 6969. Best username ever. Got banned because he got his name Pesca Masturbator. And then he got renamed into something else. I don't really remember what that name was, but that's why we have that weird fish emote. By the way, where is that fish emote? That's where we got this guy over here. Mr. Fish. That's the entire reason this emote exists. Because he was also the first guy to subscribe to the channel. The first guy who subscribed to the channel who was not anybody I knew directly. Like the first weird foreign person to subscribe ever. How long ago? 5 years or something like that? But it took me like 3 months to get to affiliate. And then another year to get the partner. I mean, once I got to affiliate, it kind of sped up quite a bit. Because suddenly, well, it was probably mostly that Pianonuts games we did. that one Pi game got me to Twitch partner. But to this day, and that's probably by far still the best part. If you go to my YouTube channel, and you go to the very first video I've ever posted in there, and you just listen to how I sound over there, and listen to how I sound right now, it was definitely a massive success on the self-improvement part. The only downside is, I kinda got fat. But I need to work on that sooner or later. Other priorities. Alright, circus videos seem to be working fine again. But mostly because we're kind of dumping all of this in there. Can we maybe just take this and drop it over there? There we go. And also, didn't we have like the channel anniversary like a month ago? And people were like, happy anniversary. I'm like, what? There's an anniversary going on? I still mostly do Twitch for my personal fun. I would probably not really want to do this full time, because to be perfectly honest, no. In stream from 2013 to 2017 with your other account, I saw 100 viewers once, but I could never improve viewership in English. It was modded Minecraft Golden Age. But then again, 2013 to 17 with, well, 100 viewers once. That's pretty good, actually. But to be perfectly honest, I'm also in this weird position where the Twitch channel is not doing bad enough. That I would say, like, yeah, it's not worth the effort anymore. But it's also not good enough to fully rely on it. So I'm in this weird sweet spot of like, let's just continue on. It's fine. It's great. I'm having fun. And also, and that's the most important part, the amount of people I get to interact on Twitch. And even the people that just sit there and lurk, all of them are fucking amazing. I probably got like one of the best audiences ever because everybody is just behaving. We never really have to moderate anything. I got moderators, and I don't know what they're doing, because sometimes they just sit there and they probably they play games on themselves on the side. I do have the trees, so I got more than enough of those trees. I did pick up the trees a little bit more consistently than those gardens, because the trees you can't really miss. The gardens you can kind of miss, and I definitely ran over 4 of them at least, maybe 5. Oh, we do have one of these casting machines in here. Perfect. Pum 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 pum. How's this even gonna work? If we move you up by 1, and we flip you around. Wait, I think I see how we can make it work. Yeah, put you over there. Yeah, the original Pi playthrough sadly is kind of lost to the void. At some point in time, the VOD management was just a little bit too much and everything, and then at some point in time, it just kind of went away. That's not one of those things you had to be there things. If you weren't there, you missed it. But to be perfectly honest, I think it's fine, because we did things very differently back then. And I think, were we still playing music on the channel? Have I tried Factorio? Not yet. I think we're still playing music on the channel as well. And still some of the old VODs are still getting like flagged back to front by the YouTube content ID system. Sometimes I get messages like, hey, this video from you over there is now blocked in this country because you played this song. And I'm like, yeah, I played that song like 7 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck anymore. Yeah, I've heard good stuff about Factorio as well, but as always, like there's only so much time in the day to play Factorio, you know. Did you know there's also belt ramps? Yes, and I think we researched them, or we tried to research them. Now they're over there, belt ramps. There's still so much over here in Renite transportation that we're not doing at all. Probably for the best of it. Yeah, this was the original spaghetti base. It's still kind of spaghetti. This is also still spaghetti, but it's more straightened out spaghetti. Alright. Let's get this other copper machine in there. Here we go. Let's put you in like... Oh, it'll be fine like that. And then we do this and that. There you go. We'll at least keep the belt full. Even though they are consuming more than we can make over there, I think it will be fine. Alright, we're really not focusing on anything at all at the moment. What do you mean focus? I'm so defocused, it's actually kinda getting to me slowly. I am getting kinda tired. And I'm kinda trying to push at least all the way up to 11, but my brain is already going like whoop 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 whoop. It's gonna be a weird one. Tomorrow will be better. Speaking of schedule. So, schedule for the week. Today, of course, Factorio. Tomorrow, more Factorio. Wednesday, we're gonna take a peek again in Stellaris. There was apparently a big economy change in Stellaris. And I just kind of want to play a game with Stellaris. I kind of wanted to play a game over the weekend, but I kind of got stuck in Path of Exile. So, we're just gonna play a game on stream. We're probably not going to go for anything too broken. I will probably just pick like an old reliable of the way I used to play. Pie? So the Three Stooges impressions? No, because I don't know the Three Stooges at all. I know that they exist, but I don't know what they even do. But yeah, there's a big economy change that has been going around in Stellaris, and some people are apparently very fed up with it. So why not check it out real quick on stream? And we're probably not going to be playing a full game of Stellaris. We're probably just going to play like a half game of Stellaris, maybe even a quarter game, because that's how Stellaris goes. But we're just going to roll with whatever we can roll up with, and we're going to see. Gotta keep asking. Pi will be back at some point. I mean, I'm still waiting for them to release the next big Pi mod update, which is Pi Stellar Expansion. But it will probably take a while. And also, when they release it, not quite sure if I will be an early adopter. Because, how to put it, they were always breaking changes, and they were always fucking me over when we were playing it, and it was always causing so much fucking grief that I'm always a little bit on edge when they start off with a new big thing, or when they release a new big thing. But we'll think about it. We'll think about it. You would wait a year after release. They still break stuff a year after release. I mean. The best part was still that power change they did, where they kind of changed how power was generated because people were fed up with it, and then like a year later, they changed it back because people were still fed up with it, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Alright. I'm actually kind of mostly waiting for this process to stop, which is about to be done, so that we can switch over to the temperate gardens over there. There's 7 in there, which means we will get another good amount of alien plant life samples. We've been building 1 Pi train block for the last 3 hours. Wow. Alright. Flush that in, please. And then we switch over to the temperate gardens. There we go. Good. Alright. What about the Crotinium? There you go. Oh, we almost have a shipment ready. Technically, yeah, that's correct. We're now using 40 stacks for there and 40 stacks for there. Basically, we have to fill up this amount over there. And then Crotinium will be coming over there. And yeah, also Satisfactory Update 1.2 is finally getting out there. It's on the experimental. I've already talked about that. Sleep is kind of terrible at the moment. I don't need more things that make sleep even worse. Alright. Can we focus something down real quick? Because it doesn't really feel like we did anything at all today. We still got this thing in front of us, and the main reason why we kind of didn't really work on this for there was because we were looking at some other things for there. That fertilizer for there, how do we make that? Is that even in here? How do we make fertilizer? There it is. Fertilizer. Make it out of compost. Okay. Compost together with some urea gas. And urea gas is just ammonia gas and carbon dioxide, and ammonia gas is only red metal. Red metal is fucking cheap and easy. And some hydrogen. We should probably start thinking about making ourselves an ammonia plant, because it's probably easier to bring in ammonia in via a train whenever we need that. You want to do map before you play it again? I haven't played Satisfactory since update 4, I think. There have not really been big map topological changes, but there definitely have been changes in certain resources, the entire Mercer economy and the other stuff in there. That's all pretty new to me as well. So that would at least be somewhat intriguing. Remembers every inch of it? Oof. Yeah, but for me, like the big difference is like since update 4, and that is quite a bit of a difference. There's also alienated fertilizer, but we can skip that for now. We don't get this tech yet, but we do get this tech. So this takes 5 soil, and this takes 7 soil to make 6 tree seeds. Yeah, it's definitely a cheaper way of doing that. But we do need to set some ammonia over there. They released a mode with random resource nodes? Really? That's kind of neat. I mean that they keep the map static, I guess that's fine. If the nodes are at least kind of random, that would be kind of fun. Because that's also kind of one of the main reasons why I don't really feel like picking it up again. Because if the nodes are always at the same point, you kind of always tend to build the same things in the same spot. And you kind of end up with the same potpourri every time. For example, that you make your first big power plant, your first big coal power plant, if you start in the beginner area. In that weird pond to the north. Where you got like, what was it, like 4 coal nodes, 2 of which you can open up later, and 2 of which you get right away. And you got like water right next to you, and you just make a coal power plant over there. Alright, alright, alright. Bolt is definitely not focusing today. What the hell is all of this? Ew. What am I looking at? Also, my nose is running. Why the fuck is my nose running? Stop running, nose. I think I might actually be getting down with a cold. Alright. Pum 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 pum. Pum pum pum. Carotinium's coming in. Looking forward to that. Nodes don't move. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really matter if the nodes don't move. If the nodes are still there, but just different stuff is in them, that's fine as well. But then again, that would also... Yeah. I do want to play Satisfactory again at some point in time. I was kind of hoping it would be 1.2. But I'm not quite sure if we can get enough attention into it. Now, there's still the idea, because I've got a lot of free time on my hands at the moment, that I might pick up daytime streaming. And if I do pick up some daytime streaming, we should do some Satisfactory, in my opinion. Because it's been a while. Alright, but we can only do daytime streaming if I get my sleep cycle under control a bit more. Oh, there's the Continuum. Lovely. Alright, So, ammonia is the big thing. Because we want to make that urea. Urea gas is ammonia and carbon dioxide. That will give us urea gas. And ammonia is red metal catalyst, hydrogen and nitrogen. Now, the nitrogen we already got solved. We got a nitrogen station over there. So we can just import the nitrogen over there via train. That'll be fine. Why do I got so much time? Because I got laid off. And I'm technically still employed until the 1st of July. So I don't need to worry about working for a while. Though I do need, and that's also a process I want to start this week, to start looking for a new job. The entire thing with the Arbeitsamt, or the what's it called in English? Like the Bureau of Employment. There we go. The Employment Bureau. That's already been dealt with, so that's all going. But I just need to look for something new. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not really worried about anything, because software developers you always need, and the better software developers you always need. I'm kind of thinking of maybe just kind of taking my time into looking for something fun. But mostly, how to put it? Working for the previous company or the current company I'm technically still employed at definitely made me realize yet again another couple things, which I probably should have realized way sooner. But as always, because you're not really comfortable with them too much, you don't really think about them too much, but it was a pretty shitty company I was working for. And I'm way more comfortable working in a company that does not have an HR department. But to be perfectly honest, that HR department was probably also a little bit out of the waters when they tried to fire me. But that was not really the problem. I came fully prepared. They were like, here are the documents you need to read and sign. I'm like, yeah. Where do I sign? Over there. Don't you want to read them? I already know what's in them. Well, job role that I had, I was technically the board enablement engineer, but they didn't really knew what they wanted. And also, the day I started, or basically the week I started, the entire team got restructured, and then a couple months later it got restructured again, and then a couple months later the entire company got restructured again, and everything was kind of chaotic, and I guess nobody really knew what they wanted to do with me, so I got laid off. Embedded Linux engineer. Technically just an embedded Linux engineer. Yeah, but that is also a company that does not really know what it really wants. And I'm actually kind of surprised how they're even successful at what they're doing. I guess if you put enough power into it, you can always make it happen. But, oh boy. There were a couple flags in there I should have probably taken a little bit more serious when I signed up with them. I didn't hear, no worries about that. Embedded Linux engineer. But yeah, I mean, embedded Linux is something you always need, or in general. I mean, technically, even a Linux engineer doesn't even need to be embedded. Is probably gonna be a little bit more important these days than some people might realize. Even though everything in software is technically in Linux. But we'll see. Yeah, embedded Linux. And I enjoy that quite a bit. And the entire embedded world is usually kind of fun. Unless, for whatever reason, you... There's one thing, and I don't understand why they did that. But if you're working in embedded Linux, you kind of need to rely on the software that is coming from your hardware supplier. Or you're more or less relying on your hardware supplier to push their software into the Linux mainline kernel. Because once it's in the Linux mainline kernel, basically that hardware will run forever. And you can see that for any kind of hardware that is in the Linux mainline kernel. Even ancient boards, you can still compile the current kernel for them. Once they're in there, they're staying in there. And once they're in there, they will probably run. You will probably always be able to compile a Linux kernel for that particular board. Unless something really weird and stupid happens, or you got a really weird architecture. That can still be a thing, because not everything is getting fully tested all the time. But, for whatever reason, the board they decided to run with at the company I was running at was some kind of weird no-name board from a Chinese developer. And that Chinese developer did the bare minimum to make it bootable and runnable, but technically nothing was working. That entire board was an entire nightmare. And the only reason they chose that board was because it had a little bit more megahertz than the choice I would have made, which was a board from NXP, which is usually one of the go-to solutions if you want to make any kind of embedded solution. There are others out there, but I'm very comfortable with NXP boards. I'm usually very they're usually very workable because they also got a great community behind it. But there's also the other ones out there. Low-level coding? I'm not really that much into low-level coding because I don't really write the drivers. I just make sure that everything works and gets works and functions together. So basically, it's more checking and testing than actual developing. Which does mean I need to read driver code, but I rarely write it myself. So I'm definitely at the lower levels, but not that low that I need to write my own shit. And most of those are written in C. I mean, you really rarely see actual drivers still written in assembly, because unless you're really on the bare metal of it, like on a layer even lower than Linux, then you write in assembly. But most of it is just C, C++, because you just trust your Linux environment to take care of everything you need. And once you're in the Linux environment, like I said, once you are in any kind of mainline or very close to mainline Linux, you're gonna have a great time, because you can basically compile whatever you want and just make your custom operating system however you feel like it. But the further away you get from that, the harder it will be to integrate it with like updates coming into mainline. For example, a big thing is, and that's the thing that's always been worked on, is graphics in Linux, especially graphics support, the meso drivers, and especially the video acceleration API or VAA API, VAPI. Those are things that constantly get updated and changed the entire time. And if you got a GPU driver that does not really fly with those updates, then you're gonna have a terrible performance. Fallen Angel, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also means that you would have suffered device overlays. Device overlays is not too bad. I mean, they're actually kind of neat. But at the same time, those device overlays, unless... Yeah, you should not really have to fuck around with those. Unless you got really a board that is so new and has so little support from the hardware supplier itself, or you're making your own board in-house, then you would need to fuck around with those device overlays. Is everybody moving to Rust for embedded systems? It's Rust and C++, it's both. I mean, they're moving quite a bit over to Rust, but the main part is still C++. Alright, alright, alright. I'm looking at the clock. I will definitely clock it in at 11 because I'm getting loopy, man. I'm getting fucking tired. I do kind of hope that I will at least wake up a little bit later than today and not at 5 fucking AM. That was too much. And maybe they're still using C? Yeah. Because C is just so simple. And for drivers, you don't need C++ for drivers. Most of them are still just written in plain C, and it's perfectly fine. Alright, let's focus on a couple more things over here. And just try to get things a little bit down in the shoehorn. Deep sea oil extraction. What is this? There's oil out there? You listen to these friends for hours? I don't think I've seen deep sea oil. Oh wait, never mind. There is some deep sea oil right over there. And there's one right over there. Oh, what the hell? Where did you come from? Excuse me? There's a wild woman out there. That wasn't a rant, it was a discussion. It's at the moment it's more a rant because I'm getting tired, I'm getting a bit cranky. But that's how it is. The moment you get tired, it's gonna be like burp, 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 I'm getting cranky. Yeah, I also have not seen any drivers in Rust at all. I've seen core components written in Rust, but not pure drivers. Is he cheating on you with a spitter? Maybe. She's also back and fully healed, so either she died out there or something else happened. Yeah, I think she sometimes teleports. I guess if we just zoom out far enough. Oh yeah, she definitely died. I kind of have the feeling, yeah, she does teleport. If we zoom in, you can take him. Oh, she actually fights. Well, wait. Look at the health bar. It's going down. I found the ultimate weapon. We can take the worm. But then again, we will probably also get a massive memory leak if we continue doing it like that, because there will just be a pile of bodies over there. Well, at least she's now out of the way, so good. But to be perfectly honest, yeah, I'm gonna call it now. I'm getting tired, man. I hope the sleep cycle is gonna be better by tomorrow, but I'm just getting super groggy right now. So, last objective for today. Who are we going to raid today? Pum 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 pum. Bum. Dum 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 dum. It's It's a Monday. Who the hell are we gonna raid on a Monday? I just have to check. Well, what the hell is this guy painting? Oh, what the fuck am I looking at? Every time I look at this stream, man. Oh, no. We should probably rate you because he left us a lovely rate the last time around, and we should probably repay that favor. So we're gonna rate Shake Your Booty. I do have to copy paste his name because he has written his name all kinds of weird. Riveria, thank you so much for being there as well. And Rafael, thank you so much for that as well. Alright, lads, we're gonna go over to Shake Your Booty. He left us a raid, I think, 2 weeks ago. Because last week we didn't really stream much. And he was playing Factorio for the first time. He's more into Satisfactory, so we can check out what he's doing over there. But I'm always trying to repay a raid when I can get the opportunity to repay a raid. Also, nobody else is available, but don't tell him that. I'm definitely getting too tired a little bit. I do hope I don't fall asleep right away. I do kind of at least want to do a little bit of Uma Musume. But nevertheless, thank you so much for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more Factorio. Wednesday with Stellaris. Thursday with more Factorio. And Friday with some Timberborn. And maybe in between we do some gacha games. I will think about it. Nevertheless, could have done Alana. Yeah, I could have also done Alana, but I was kind of thinking of something new for today. Nevertheless, have a good one. Thank you everybody who left the follow. Thank you so much everybody who left a subscription. Zach for 2E, thank you so much for giving us up. Dog Spanner, thank you for the resub. Audio Chunk, thank you for the resub. Kinter, thank you for the resub. D1 Ronin, thank you for the resub. And Smeagol, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Spectre, thank you for the resub. Profi-Spieler, thank you for the resub. And all the way at the top, thank you so much for the follow. Have a good one. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Usually 7 p.m. Central European Summer. No, it's not really summertime. At some point in time, it will be summertime. So 7 p.m. CET at the moment. Have a good one. Good night. I think the raid already went out. Yes, raid went out. I'm tired. Good night.